Nothing runs like a deer.
Whether you have a lawn to mow, a driveway to plow, or a garden to till, our customers know you can't beat the quality and reliability of a John Deere.
And right now at Greenway Equipment Sales, we have a great offer for you.
Get 0% APR fixed rate financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
For more offers, go to greenwayequipment.com.
See the Smith Brothers today at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
For the first time in its 6-year history, the New England Bowl has made its way to Bangor, Maine in the Winkett Sports Complex. And today is the Husson University Eagles playing host to the Panthers of Plymouth State University. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Alongside Isaac Potter, I'm Ethan Snow, and Potter, we have a very intriguing matchup here today. These two teams did meet in the regular season on this field all the way back on homecoming weekend, and it was the Panthers coming away with a 17-0 victory. But a lot has changed since that early September afternoon.
Yeah, definitely a lot has changed. The weather's definitely has gotten colder since then. But, both of these teams, have had a great season. Plymouth State off to an 8-2 overall record heading into this game. Husson coming in. They started off the season 1-4, really have turned around here in this second half of the year. And I'm really expecting it to be a very entertaining game on our hands here today.
Yeah, you mentioned the Eagles with a very sluggish start, struggled to find the end zone a bunch. You got to go back, looking back at their regular season schedule to start 35-14 loss to Dartmouth, 17-0 loss to Plymouth back here, as we mentioned just a couple of moments ago, right here on this field on September 10th. And then they got a win, back-to-back home games. They did get a win against SUNY Alfred, and then back-to-back losses against on the road at Springfield, 49-7. And a 20-0 loss at Endicott, the Commonwealth Coast Conference champions this year for the second consecutive season. And then the Eagles turned it around. They popped off 4 consecutive victories, all against conference opponents. It started with the Lobster Trap game right here at the Winkin, a 31-14 victory over UNE. They went down to play Curry. They came out with a victory 38-26, and another grinding, close matchup with the Colonels of Curry College. And then they came back here, and they took on a Western New England team back on October 29th that they had never beaten before in 5 previous attempts. But it was the Eagles coming away with a 27-17 victory over Western New England, their first of any kind over the Golden Bears. And then on Senior Day, just 2 weeks ago, they came away with a 27-14 victory over Nichols College. And then last week, they did lose the season finale down at Salve Regina. But the way the standings turned out, the Eagles, 2 losses in conference, earned themselves their first ever appearance in a New England Bowl game, and they just got a chance to host. So a big game coming up for Husson this afternoon. Now we go over to the Panthers. As you mentioned, Potter, 8-2 overall, 6-2 in the MASCAC, and the Panthers rolled very well in the majority of the season. They started out the season winning 4 consecutive games, 20-7 over Castleton, 17-0 against Husson. They took on conference rival Bridgewater State, 41-34 the final. They were at Framingham State, 14-9. They got the victory, and their only 2 losses back October 8th against Western Connecticut, 34-27. They fell, and then just last week they hosted UMass Dartmouth, the MASCAC champions. They went undefeated. 46-21, the Panthers fell to Dartmouth. But here they are again. They're back here at the Winkett Sports Complex, and the Panthers are making their first appearance in a bowl game since 2009 when they appeared in the ECAC Bowl, and their last bowl victory came in 2007. So both the Panthers and the Eagles breaking long postseason appearance droughts today, and one of these teams today is going to break a long postseason victory drought.
Yeah, and last time, like we mentioned earlier, when these two teams faced off against one another, it was back in early September, and both of these teams have played a lot differently since. Like you mentioned with Husson, ever since when that game against UNE, they really started to turn around offensively and defensively and really helped them win the last 4 out of those 5 games on the season. And Plymouth State, like you mentioned, they've just been playing well all season. Really just all kind of led by quarterback Braden Lynn, MASCAC Rookie of the Year. He's had a phenomenal season, and it's been a big reason why Plymouth State has had the season that they've had.
Yeah, you mentioned the season that Plymouth State has had. Braden Lynn, the MASCAC Rookie of the Year. He's a sophomore, but he was named the starting quarterback for Plymouth here this season, and he is absolutely lighting it up. 107 completions and 167 attempts and only 3 interceptions. That's the big one right there, Potter. It's only allowed 3 takeaways has only allowed 3 takeaways off his arm. As Plymouth won the toss, they deferred. Husson will receive the opening kickoff from the Panthers. So the Eagles will get first possession. We'll get to see Nick Visser and company. Nick Visser, the Commonwealth Coast Conference Offensive Player of the Year. He threw for 2,200 yards this season, 14 touchdowns, 197 completions, 285 attempts, and 10 interceptions. He's averaged about 220 yards passing per game.
Yeah, he's definitely was deserving of the Offensive Player of the Year. He's another one of those guys really turned around in that second half of the season and has played really well, and we should be in for a very exciting matchup between these two quarterbacks and these two teams.
As we will pause for the playing of our national anthem. And we are ready to play some football on this beautiful, seasonable November afternoon. Once again, joined alongside by Isaac Potter. I'm Ethan Snow. Thank you for joining us on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. The Eagles are looking for the Eagles making their first bowl appearance since 2015. This is their first appearance in any sort of postseason play since 2018, since winning in their final year in the ECFC back in 2018. Eagles fell to Salve Regina in their last bowl game all the way back in 2015. As mentioned, the Plymouth State Panthers are in their first bowl game since 2009. They won the ECAC Bowl in 2007. Their last postseason appearance was in 2017. They won the MASCAC and were eliminated in the first round of the NCAA tournament. As once again, the Panthers won the toss. They elected to defer, so the Eagles will get the ball to start things off. Kicking things off for the Panthers, it will be number 20, Seth DeSalvo, sophomore kicker.
And it looks like it's going to be John Bell back there for the Eagles.
Along with John Bell and Cam Holmes back to receive for Husson. Husson will be moving from right to left on your screen to start off, wearing the green uniforms with the gold pants, gold trim on the numbers. Plymouth in their road whites with the green trim in the numbers and green trim on the jerseys. As DeSalvo is back, ready to kick it deep. And the 2022 New England Bowl is underway as this one in the air. It is going to be fielded on the far side by Holmes. Holmes brings it up to the 20, to the 25, up to the 30, breaks a few more tackles. He's up to the 40-yard line, and he's off to the races. Cam Holmes is going to be brought down near the 30-yard line, ball out of bounds, but a flag is down back near the 35-yard line. So we will wait on the flag, but for now, it is a big return for Cam Holmes.
Yeah, that was obviously there was a flag, but, that was obviously a great way to start the game there for the Eagles. A great return there by Cam Holmes, but it looks like it might have been a holding called there on one of the plays, and we'll have to start back a little bit.
So it'll be a legal block in the back against Husson, so that will bring back the massive return from Cam Holmes. So that'll back the Eagles up to about their own 25-yard line. So negate the big return on the opening kickoff. But we gotta mention real quick, Potter. John Bell last week brought back a kickoff for 97 yards for a touchdown against Salve Regina. So the Eagles special teams continuing to play well as Visser takes the opening snap, hands it off to Lober, and Lober runs off to the right side. And he's going to get a gain of about 3 yards on the play out near the 30. That'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, and Ethan, like you were mentioning a little earlier with John Bell, how he ran it back for a touchdown last game, against Salve Regina. He's named to the CC first team returner, second team wide receiver. So he's definitely had a great season, especially, running it back for the end zone.
Second down and 6 on their own 29. Visser snaps, hands it off to Lober again. Lober up the middle, and he's going to be brought down close to the 35. Looks like he's going to be marked about a yard short. So a third down and about 1 yard to go for the Eagles on their opening drive.
And Lober is a guy that really has stepped into this new role here with the Eagles, losing Elijah Garnett and Jordan Marcano for the season. He's really stepped in as a freshman, and he's done a lot of good things here in this second half of the season.
Lober rushed for 307 yards on 102 attempts with 2 as Visser will throw on third down. He's got Russ Walker open on the near side, and he's out to about the 41-yard line, and that is well good enough for an Eagles first down.
Yeah, great pass over there to him, and was able to pick up the first down, and, the Eagles so far just marching up the field.
So it'll be fresh set of downs for the Eagles from their own 41-yard line. First down of the day for Husson. Visser lines up shotgun, 3 receiver set, sends Christian Walker in motion. Shotgun snap, hands it off to Lober again, and Lober is going to get wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. In there on the tackle, Mike Terrazzano, and he brought Lober down in a hurry, and there's going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, great play there by Terrazzano to be able to get around there and to be able to bring him down and lose a yard on that play.
Terrazzano and Sam Fleming in on the play. It'll be second down and 11. As Elijah Garnett checks into the game, Lober will get a play to rest. 3 receiver set. Visser, shotgun snap, hands it off to Garnett. He comes off to the near side. He gets a couple good blocks. He's out to the 50, still on his feet. And he's going to be dragged down about the 45-yard line. And that is well good enough for another Eagles first down into plus territory.
Yeah, what a great run there from Elijah Garnett. Picking up the big first down there, and the Eagles continuing to move up the field.
So marching right into Plymouth territory. They'll mark it at the Panthers' 43-yard line. First down and 10 for Husson. 2022 New England Bowl, the 6th annual New England Bowl series. Commonwealth Coast Conference versus the Mascot. Visser shotgun snap, puts it in the belly of Garnett. He's right up the middle. He'll be brought down at about the 40. Coming in on the tackle, Bryce Ronski for the Panthers. It'll be a gain of about 3 or 4, and that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, another nice run there from Elijah Garnett. He was a guy that really played well at the very beginning of the season, went out with a knee injury, but has returned here, and, it's good to see because he's a very talented running back for the squad.
4 receiver set for Husson. Visser, shotgun snap. He's going to throw. He'll give it off to Lober in the flat, and Lober drops it. And that's going to bring up third down and long as Lober had wide open space out in the flat, just couldn't corral it.
Yeah, it just looked like he kind of, overthought it. He kind of was ready to catch it, and then just kind of when he turned his head, just fumbled it a little bit. And
one of those situations where I think he turned his head upfield before he actually had it in his possession.
Right.
So third down and long situation for Husson. 4 receiver set. Lober in the backfield with Visser. Lines up shotgun. He takes a snap. He's dropping back to throw. He'll throw down the middle of the field, and it is intercepted at about the 25-yard line. Coming away with a takeaway, number 27. That's Luke Normando. And Visser, with his 11th interception on the season, brings the Eagles' first drive of the day to an end.
Yeah, and that was not an easy interception, too. It looked like Normando kind of caught it almost like one-handed kind of when he went to catch that ball. And a nice interception there and a big stop there for Plymouth State.
So Plymouth will take over on the takeaway. They'll take over on their own 27-yard line. So Braden Lynn and company will make their way onto the field for the first time today. Running with a running back and a fullback in the backfield. 2 receivers on the near side. He takes a snap, looking to throw. He'll pass off to the near side. He's got Donahue out of bounds, close to the 35-yard line. That's Jake Donahue, 32 receptions, 495 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's a senior from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, Donahue is a guy who's done a lot of good things for this Plymouth State team over the years, and the last time when he played here as well, he had a very good game as well.
So, going to bring up a 2nd down and 2 to go for the Panthers. Andy Sanchez checks into the backfield for the Panthers. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's looking to throw it again. He'll load off to the far side. He was looking for Donahue again, but it's out of his reach, and I'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, that one just threw it, like you mentioned, just a little bit too far away from him. And a 3rd down here for the Eagles, and this would definitely be a big one to be able to force this turnover here if the Eagles, after giving up that interception.
So just like that, 3rd down and short for the Panthers coming up. 11 minutes to play in this opening quarter, no score. Panthers trying to strike first after getting a Nick Visser takeaway. Line up 2 in the backfield again, 2 receivers far side. Lynn, who's thrown on his last 2 passes, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez looking up the middle. He's going to be brought down. Ball is loose. It's going to be picked up on the France. He's going down the sideline. It's a scoop and score for the Eagles, and they get on the board first. It's an Eagles defensive touchdown.
Wow, what a turn of events there. Big play by Parker LaFrance to be able to pick that one up and run it back for a touchdown. And the Eagles score first here.
And just like that, Husson, Nick Visser throws the opening drive takeaway, and the Eagles get a takeaway of their own on 3rd down. They strip Manny Sanchez, and the Eagle, Parker LaFrance, picks it up, and he takes it to the house as Aaron Parody is out for the extra point to make it a 7-0 game. And just like that, Potter, Eagles on the scoreboard first. Something they could not do against Plymouth State back in September.
Yeah, like we've mentioned in the pregame show, the Eagles' offense has definitely turned around here in this 2nd half of the season.
Parody's extra point is up, and it is good. And Husson, just like that, on the scoop and score from Parker LaFrance, takes a 7-0 advantage with 10:49 to play in the opening quarter of this 2022 New England Bowl.
Yeah, if you're Coach Nat Clark, you got to love the way how the defense was able to force that fumble there. Then Parker LaFrance taking it back to the end zone for a touchdown. And this is all when the Eagles gave up that interception about maybe 2 minutes before that. And so a great little turnaround here for the Eagles.
So just like that, Husson will be out to kick it back to the Panthers. 10:49 to play in this opening quarter. 7-0 lead for the Eagles. They had the first lead of the ball game on the scoop and score from Parker LaFrance. As Aaron Parody will be back out to kick this one deep. Back to receive for the Panthers. That's Christian Paye and Jake Donahue back to receive. Parody's kick on the way, and it is going to be fielded by Paye at about the 8-yard line. Stumbles, he's up to the 10, the 15, the 20, and he's going to be brought down at about the 25-yard line, and that is where the Panthers will take over, trailing the Eagles for the first time this season, 7-0.
Yeah, and it looked like there, I believe it was Eli Simmons was able to help force the tackle there, and it looks like he'll take it right around the 25-yard line.
So that is where the Panthers will take over for the second time today, looking to respond after turning the ball over. Manny Sanchez was the one who had the ball stripped away. So Braden Lynn and company back on the field. It'll be him and Sanchez in the backfield. It'll be a 3-receiver set. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's looking to throw. Throws off to the far side. He's got a pass complete. Brought down at about the 27, 28-yard line. That's Donahue again.
Yeah, it looked like it was Antoine Turner making the tackle there along with Sean Savage, able to take him down. So far, Plymouth State has been going to Jack Donahue so far in these first few possessions.
So a gain of 3 on the play brings it up to their own 28-yard line. At Donahue, 32 receptions. The next closest for a Plymouth State receiver would have been Brian Warren, the tight end. He had 20 on the year. So Donahue definitely has been the favorite receiver for Braden Lynn this season. He takes the snap, puts it in the belly of Sanchez, cuts right, goes to the left, and he's going to be brought down at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 3 or 4, and that's going to bring up third down and short.
Yeah, Manny Sanchez was one of those guys that played really well last time when Plymouth State took on Husson. Ran for 131 rushing yards in that game on September 10th and in the victory for Plymouth State. So we'll see if that will keep going for him going forward in this game.
Manny Sanchez, one of 3 Panthers offensive players named to the All-MASCAC second-team offense this year. Third down and 3 from their own 32-yard line. Braden Lynn takes the shotgun snap, throws to the far side, pass is complete near the marker. Alex Brown drags the receiver out of bounds. I believe that was completed by Kyle Baker. And they're going to say he was brought out at the marker, and that'll bring up a Plymouth State first down.
Yeah, and Kyle Baker was also a guy that scored a touchdown the last time these two teams played as well. I'm sure that this will be a tough task here for Alex Brown on the cornerback.
So first down and 10 from their own 35, taking down to 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter for the Panthers. Lynn, shotgun snap, hands it off again. It'll be a gain of about 3 or 4. Manny Sanchez again on the rush. It'll bring up second down and long. Tucker Buzzell was in on the tackle, and Tucker Buzzell, one of the most intense defensive players on this Eagles team that we've seen in a long time. 118 tackles, 13.5 for a loss coming into today, and he was named to the CCC All First Team Defense.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal season this year. Could have arguably been one of the defensive players of the year.
Lynn under pressure, and he's going to get tracked down at the 30-yard line. Number 36, Adam Bertrand in there. Brought down Lynn, and that's going to back the Panthers all the way up to their own 30-yard line. That's going to bring up third down and forever.
Yeah, what great work there by the Husson defensive line. And like you mentioned, Adam Bertrand able to get the tackle there, and Braden Lynn having to lose a few yards on that.
He's going to back them all the way up to their own 30. It'll be third down and 15 for Plymouth State. This to be in their second drive on offense today, and they have not managed to do much. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's looking to throw down the field. He's looking deep down the field, and it is out of the reach. Pass was intended to Brian Warren, and it was way over his head, and the Panthers punt team will come out.
Yeah, another great stop here for the Eagles. Like we saw earlier, they were able to force the fumble and pick it up and run it back for a touchdown. And then this possession here, able to force the turnover here.
So out to punt, it'll be Connor Sheehan. 26 punts this season, 8 inside the 20-yard line, a 38.5 average, and a long punt of 57. Back to receive for Husson, Jaquan Miles. Sits back at his own 29-yard line. Kicks on the way. That was partially blocked. It's going to bounce at the 50. It's going to keep a roll to about the 38-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will take over. And that one may have been partially tipped, but there's a flag back down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, what they call here.
And there was not much on that punt. I know there was about 3 Eagles defenders. And the flag, and they're going to pick up the flag. It's the ball. They did say it was tipped, so looked like there was a flag down, possibly for either running into or roughing the kicker. So, but the ball was tipped. So no, they pick up the flag, and the Eagles offense will take over for the second time today. Their first drive ended in a Nick Visser interception, but the Eagles defense picking up the slack and scored the first points of the day for Husson. So here comes Visser and company back on the field with good field position, taking over from their own 39-yard line. Visser He takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Lober. Lober breaks one tackle, still on his feet, but he's going to get dragged down at the 38-yard line. Yeah, that's going to be a loss of about 1 on the play. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, it looked like it was number 23, Emmanuel Yugu, able to bring him down there. Looked like he might have lost maybe a yard on that play, but great work there by the Plymouth State defensive line.
Aiden Crone comes off. Coming in for him is Hutchinson for a play. Second down and 11 from their own 38-yard line. Opening quarter. Visser hands it off to Lober again. He'll bring it off to the far side. And again, he's going to get dragged down to the backfield. Coming in for the stop, that was Bryce Ronski. And that'll back up the Eagles even further. And just like that, it's going to be third down and 13.
Yeah, once again, the Eagles going back to Lober and just wasn't able to do anything. You know, like you mentioned, number 45, Bryce Ronski, able to take him down.
Plymouth State holding opposing backs to 132 yards per game on the season. Visser shotgun snap on third down and long. He's looking down the field. He's got a wide open receiver on the far side. That's Tyler Thompson. That's going to be good enough for an Eagles first down into plus territory.
Yeah, and he was almost wide open there. Tyler Thompson making a nice catch. He's really played well this season, coming in, providing a lot of good senior leadership for this team, and he's really stepped up into this new role.
Tyler Thompson had a 76-yard touchdown reception 2 weeks ago against Nichols, which was a big play of that game. So a fresh set of downs for the Eagles back in the Plymouth territory at the 48, under 6 minutes to play. Visser throws again. He gives it back to Thompson, but the Panthers defense all over it. He's going to get tackled for, it looks like, a loss of about 1 back to the Panthers' 49-yard line.
Yeah, once again, the defensive line there for the Plymouth State able to force a loss there on yards, but the Eagles still looking strong here.
So it'll be second down and 11 from the Panthers' 49-yard line. Husson with a 7-0 lead. A defensive touchdown just a few minutes ago. Visser shotgun stop, fakes the handoff. Quick throw out to John Bell. Bell into the secondary, and he's going to be brought down inside the 35-yard line. That'll be good enough for another Eagles first down.
And once again, John Bell, one of the top Eagles receivers here on the season, doing what he does. Senior leadership stepping up.
John Bell came in today, 33 receptions for 507 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a 68-yard receiving touchdown back a few weeks ago against Western New England. The big play of the season for him so far. Senior slot receiver out of Skowhegan. So a first down and 10 from the Panthers' 33-yard line. Eagles driving once again. Shotgun snap. Visser rolls out to the far side. He'll put it in the air. He finds Dom Wilson on the far side. He's going to be brought down inside the 30. Be a gain of about 8 on the play. It'll bring up second down and short.
Yeah, good pass there by Visser to find Dom Wilson, able to pick up a few yards on that play.
So it'll be second down and 3. It'll be a gain of 7. Down inside, they'll mark it under the 26-yard line of the Panthers. Husson offense driving, trying to take a 2-possession lead in this bowl game. Visser lines up shotgun again. He takes a snap, hands it off to Garnett. Garnett out to the far side, and he's going to run all the way to the end zone and in for an Eagles touchdown untouched.
And Elijah Garnett once again making a nice run there. And the Eagles up to a very strong start here in this first quarter.
Garnett got off to the far side and made only put on a couple of moves, and he was untouched as he got into the secondary. And just like that, Husson finds themselves up 13-0. Aaron Parody out for the extra point, trying to make it 14-0. Parody came into today 19 for 22 on PATs, as this one is up, that one is through, and it's a 14-0 lead for the Husson University Eagles, who are coming out on fire in this opening quarter. 14-0 now the score. And Potter, Potter for the Eagles, you couldn't have asked for a better. You go back to that game against Plymouth State back in September, just a complete opposite start.
Oh, yeah, very opposite start. You know, when these two teams faced off against one another last time, the Eagles really struggled offensively to try to get something going. And this time around, they scored 2 touchdowns to start this game. And, if you're Coach Nat Clark, you got to love this start, in this bowl game here.
So here comes Aaron Parody out to kick this one back to the Panthers, who so far have come up with 2 empty drives. One of those, their opening drive, resulting in the first points of the game for Husson on a Sanchez fumble and a Parker LaFrance scoop and score. And they punted on their last drive. 3:52 to play in this opening quarter. Still lots of time to go in this one. Parody's kick on the way, end over end. It'll be fielded at about the 5-yard line. It'll be bringing up by Payu. Payu up to the 25, trying to fight his way to the 30. It looks like he'll be brought down at about the 26-yard line, and that is where the Panthers will take over for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, Payu making that run there. He's a senior from Nashua, New Hampshire.
So here comes the Panthers back out again. They'll be at the 27-yard line where the Panthers will take over. 3:45 to play in the opening quarter. Lynn and company back on the field. They'll bring a running back and a fullback. Lynn has thrown the ball a bunch so far today. He's looked for Donahue a bunch. He'll line up under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez again. He runs off to the far side, still on his feet. He's going to get brought down close to the 35-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down and short.
Yeah, well, a great run there by Sanchez. Like you mentioned, that was looks like a gain of 8 there for him. A good run for here. Plymouth State looking to try to get something going here offensively to try to cut into this lead a little closer.
So 2nd down and short. The Panthers have not gotten it into plus territory in their first 2 drives of the day. Still trying to get into Eagles territory. Looks like a similar set. Lynn lines up under center, 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers near side. He takes a snap, hands it off again to Sanchez, and Sanchez brings it up the middle. He's going to get a gain of maybe 1 or 2, but it will be good enough for a Panthers 1st down.
Yeah, another nice rush there by Sanchez. Like you mentioned, Ethan, he's one of the top targets here for Plymouth State on the season, and like you mentioned, he had a very good season this year.
Sanchez, both him and Brian Warren, the tight end, made the all-second team in the MASCAC this year. So fresh set of downs from their own 37-yard line. Taking out at 2:30 to play in the opening quarter. Lynn under center snap again, hands it off to Sanchez again. Sanchez up the middle, out past the 40. Looks like he's going to be marked at the 41-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and earlier on in the season, too, the Eagles really struggled with trying to stop the run, and that's something that they've really picked up well here in the second half. Have really turned it around, was to be able to stop that run, and that's why kind of the Eagles had that turnaround season that they had, is they cleaned up those kind of things on the offense and defensive side.
As you mentioned, Sanchez really burned him in the first game back in September. So 2nd down and 6 from the 41-yard line. Lynn under center again. He takes a snap. This one is going to be handed off to number 33, Jack Glanville. Ball is loose on the ground. There's going to be a pile for it. And I believe the Panthers got it right back.
Yeah, it looks like they did able to get it back, but could have been another dangerous situation there for Plymouth State if they were able to have another turnover, as right now the Eagles just been doing everything right offensively and defensively.
I believe that was Tucker Buzzle coming in, forcing that fumble. So Buzzle, once again, being a force to be reckoned with on the field. So the Panthers do end up with a gain of 4 yards, gain of a couple on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 43. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's looking to throw, puts it in the air. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Chris Coburn. And Coburn had no idea that the ball was coming to him. So that brings up 4th down, and we'll see what the Panthers decide to do here. And looks like the punt team is coming out. So the Panthers come up with another empty drive to get a 1st down, but not much other than that, and then they'll punt it away.
Yeah, The Eagles once again forcing another stop here on Plymouth State. And, with the way things have been going, it's really just been all Eagles here, momentum.
So back to punt things away. Sheehan. Spiraling punt fielded by Miles back at his own 10-yard line. Miles cuts up the middle. He's going to run into the traffic and be brought down at about the 27-yard line. And that is where the Eagles will take over with 58 seconds to play in the first quarter. Once again, this is the 2022 New England Bowl on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Plymouth State out of the MASCAC, Husson University out of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. Alongside Isaac Potter, I'm Ethan Snow on a beautiful but seasonable November afternoon.
And definitely a good crowd that's turned out here today, despite it being a little chilly out, but it's definitely a good crowd here for this bowl game.
Temperatures listed at 39 degrees in the shade, and I say in the shade because once you get into the sun, it feels a lot better as Visser's going to throw on first down. He finds Russ Walker. He'll be brought out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5. It'll bring up second down.
Another nice pass there by Visser, and able to pick up about a few yards there, and Eagles looking to continue what they're doing right here. So
time still running down. We're down to 30 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Eagles will have to run one more play before we reach the end of the first. Visser, shotgun snap. He'll throw it again. Has a pass complete out to the far side. And reaching for the first down, I believe he got it. That's Russ Walker again. It'll be good enough for an Eagles first down.
Yeah, good work there by Walker. Looked like he was possibly going to go down earlier, but it was able to get around and able to get the first down.
So the Eagles will let this one run down to the end of the first quarter, where they will have a first down and 10. They will change field directions, but they'll have a first down and 10 from their own 38-yard line. When we come back for the second quarter, it's 14-0 Husson. You're watching the 2022 New England Bowl on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Husson makes it a priority of theirs to make sure each of their students are well-rounded and that we're prepared to go into the future.
I mean, it's very rare to have a college that can emphasize the professor-student interaction, and Husson hits it right on the head.
Instead of just, sitting in the classroom, it's a great way to get hands-on experience. I'm actually out here doing things and seeing how things work.
After being here and meeting the people, I decided this is where I wanted to be, that there was no better option for me.
Back from the Wicked Sports Complex on the campus of Husson University. It's the 2022 New England Bowl. Plymouth State University versus the Husson University Eagles. On first down and 10, Lober loses the football on the run. It is on the ground, and it looks like for the moment it's going to be picked up by Plymouth State, and it is. So Lober, but a penalty flag is does come down near the line of scrimmage, or back behind the line of scrimmage. But for now, it is a fumble by Lober, recovered by Plymouth State. It's going to be holding on Husson. Plymouth State will decline the penalty, and just like that, possibly the spark Plymouth State needs. They're going to have first down and 10 inside Eagles territory for the first time today.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this was definitely something that they needed, a little spark plug that could possibly get them going here, and this could be a really good opportunity here for Plymouth State.
So a rare mistake from Jed Lober coming in the second quarter of this game, a big opportunity here for Plymouth State to turn the tide down 14-0. As Braden Lynn and company right back onto the field. Lynn lines up under center. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He'll throw down the field. He's going to pass complete to Donahue down near the 29-yard line. It'll be good enough for a Plymouth State first down.
Yeah, great catch there by Donahue with some good concentration to be able to hang on to that one and to break free from Alex Brown there.
You go back to that fumble for a second. Lober trying to break out to that far side, and he just lost the football. Just slipped out of his hands, and Plymouth State was managed to jump all over it. And they'll have a first down and 10 from the Husson 28-yard line after a 11-yard reception from Donahue, as this one will be handed off to Manny Sanchez again, and Sanchez will have a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play, close to the Husson 25-yard line. That'll be second down.
Yeah, another nice play there from Plymouth State there. You know, this would be huge for Plymouth State if they're able to score on this drive here, to be able to get something going like that spark plug like you mentioned, and to look to try to fight their way back in this game.
Going back a couple plays to that fumble, that was Luke Normando who forced the fumble. So Normando, he came up with that interception earlier on in the game as well. So he's having a great game defensively for Plymouth State so far. Second down and 7 from the Husson 25, as Lynn's going to roll out to the near side. He's looking for the end zone, and it is knocked down in the end zone by Parker LaFrance. Nearly could have had himself an interception in the end zone. The pass was intended for number 4. That was Nikos Bouzakis. And that'll bring up third down and 7.
Yeah, that was a really dangerous situation there for Lynn, and LaFrance it was just a little bit too high up for him to be able to catch it and corral it, but a nice play there by him to force the third down.
So third down and 27 from the Husson 25-yard line. 13:29 to play in this second quarter. Husson with a 14-0 lead. Plymouth State trying to take advantage of another takeaway. Lynn, quick pass out to box 1. Bouzakis again. He's going to be dragged down inside the 20. But I do not believe, yes he will. That will be just enough for another Panthers first down now into the red zone.
That was a huge play there for Plymouth State. That probably could have meant they would have had to kick it there. But a big first down there for Plymouth State as they look to try to continue to march their way into the end zone.
He looked for Bouzakis in the end zone 2 plays before. He finds him here, and Bouzakis gets enough yardage for the first down. They're going to mark it at the Husson 16-yard line. First down and 10. Lynn lines up under center again. They'll run 2 in the backfield. 2 receivers out wide. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez rolling out to the far side with room to run, and he's going to run into a brick wall. He's going to get a good gain out of it. It'll be short of the first down, but it looks like he's going to have a gain of about 8 on the play.
Yeah, once again, Sanchez with another nice run. Doing a lot of good things here for this team today.
Buzzle and LaFrance coming in on the tackle. Second and 4 from the 10-yard line. Plymouth State in prime opportunity to get on the scoreboard after recovering a Jed Lober fumble near midfield. Takes a snap. This one's going to be handed off to the fullback. He runs it up the middle. It's going to be good enough for a first down. Still on his feet. He's going to be dragged down close to the 5-yard line. On the run, that was number 37. That was Thanos Bouzakis on the play.
Yeah, and it looked like there he was just going to be stopped there, but he still was able to stay on his feet and at least pick up about another 2 or 3 more yards. So good work by him.
Thanos Bouzakis on the carry as they're going to line up quickly. First down and goal from the 4. Hands it off to Sanchez. And Sanchez is going to be forced out of bounds. This is going to be a loss of quite a few yards on the play as the Eagles defense read that one like a book. And that's going to bring up second down and goal.
Yeah, and it looked like there, I think it was Buzzle and Simmons, I think, right there on the action play there, and was able to make him go back about a yard or two, about a few yards. But what a great defensive stop there for the Eagles.
So that'll back them up to the Husson 9-yard line. So a big loss there on the play. So it'll be Lynn back under center. Lucas and Sanchez in the backfield. He fakes the handoff to Sanchez. He's looking in the end zone. Now he's going to take off and run it himself. Still on his feet. Runs into a couple of defenders. He's going to be brought down. Possibly a gain of 1 or 2 on the play, but that's all he's going to get as Lynn takes this one himself. That's going to bring up third down and goal.
Yeah, it was just one of those plays. Lynn couldn't really find anyone and just decided to take it himself and picked up about 2 yards, but now we're at 3rd and 7 here.
So 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line of Husson. Taking down to 11 minutes to play in this second quarter. Plymouth State trying to put points on the board for the first time today. Big 3rd down play for both sides right here. Lynn lines up shotgun, takes a snap. He's dropping back to throw. Looking for the end zone and through the hands of Donahue. It's incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and now a big decision here if you're Plymouth State.
Yeah, definitely a big decision for sure. And that ball was meant for Jake Donahue, but Eli Simmons was able to partially tip that one. And it looks like here Plymouth State's going to kick it here.
So they are going to try to take the points. It'll be DeSalvo lining up for the field goal, trying to make it 14-3. DeSalvo this year 4 or 5 with a long of 35. This is well inside of 35 yards. Snap is down, hold is good, kick is up, and it is no good. It is wide to the left. And the Eagles hold on to their 14-0 lead, and they will take over well inside their own territory, but the shutout remains.
Yeah, Plymouth State, probably had one of their best offensive drives, but the Husson defense once again making a lot of nice stops, and Plymouth State wasn't able to make that field goal, and they still remain scoreless.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from Husson's own 25-yard line. That is where they will take over in this second quarter. It was Jed Lober who turned the ball over to set up that ended up setting up that field goal attempt at the end of that drive. It'll be Elijah Garnett in the backfield with Visser this time around. Visser shotgun snap. He finds Russ Walker. He's got a pass complete, and he's going to be brought down at about the 31-yard line. Good enough for another Eagles 1st down.
Yeah, once again, nice pass from Visser over towards Walker. Able to pick up the 1st down right around the 31-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 from their own 31. Husson looking to really take control of this ball game on this drive, leading 14-0. So Visser, shotgun snap again, fakes the handoff to Garnett, quick pass to Bell, and it's going to fall incomplete. Bell nearly tipped it back up into the air. Could have been a very dangerous play, but it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 on the intended pass to John Bell.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that definitely could have been a dangerous play as Bell kind of almost bobbled it up in the air, and that's not what you really want to do. But luckily, nobody was there for Plymouth State to be able to pick it up and just be 2nd down now.
So 2nd down and 10 from their own 31. Visser lines up shotgun, 4-receiver set. Garnett in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands it off, fakes handoff, has a completion out to Bell. Bell out to about the 36-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds by Bryce Ronski. That is going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for this Eagles squad.
And it looked like there he didn't get out of bounds, so we'll see what the Eagles do here on this 3rd down play.
So 3rd down and 5 from their own 36-yard line. A big play coming up. Panthers have a chance to possibly get the ball back with a stop. Husson trying to keep the drive alive. There's going to be a 3-receiver set. Garnett in the backfield with Visser, lines up shotgun. He takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Quick throw out to Thompson. Thompson's got a completion. He's going to be shoved out of bounds. But forward progress, I believe, will give him the 1st down. It's going to be it was very close to the marker. No, they're going to mark him a yard short. So 4th down and 1.
Yeah, looks like here, I don't see any of the kicking unit coming out, and it looks like the Eagles are going to try to go for it here on 4th and 1.
4th down and 1 long yard. They need to get to the 41-yard line. That's the yard to gain. They're at the 40. So now a big play coming. Visser is looking at he's looking back at the play clock. I don't think there's a timeout on the field called by Husson as the play clock is running down. It looks like Visser was a little bit confused. He thought maybe the play clock should have been reset, but it was it was running down under 10, and they were not set, so Husson forced to burn a timeout here. So Potter, a big play here. It looks like they are going to stay out and try to go for it. If you say I would expect them try to hand it off to Garnett and send it up the middle. Or we've seen Visser run the ball a bunch himself this season. He's a bigger quarterback. Visser, 6'2", 220. That's a lot large body to try to stop. We've seen him try to sneak it before. He only need 1 yard. But I would certainly expect him to try to keep it on the ground here.
Oh, yeah, I definitely would expect that too. Like you mentioned, I expect them to either go to Garnett or Visser will try to do a little bit of a QB sneak here. And Husson can kind of be affordable to try to, take this risk here, having a 2-touchdown lead right now. But we'll see what happens. I don't see Nick Visser out there right now.
Yeah, and if you don't take it, or if you don't make it, and it's all for naught anyway because they did bring out the punting unit. So it'll be Parody back to kick this one away. So Husson making the wise choice. They will punt this one away. Parody, his kick is up. It is a spiraling punt. Beautiful punt. It's going to be fair caught at about the 16-yard line. That fair catch made by Christian Paye, and that is where the Panthers will take over with 8:33 to play in this second quarter. So Husson decided to take the more conservative route. Took the more conservative route. Was just like, you know what? No need to make any unnecessary risk. We'll just kick this one away. Our defense is playing great. We'll see if they can get another stop.
Right, and like you mentioned, it is a bowl game here today. It's not like, it's a normal regular season game. So something's on the line here for both of these teams. And Coach Clark just decided, like you mentioned, we're not going to take any risk right now. We're just going to trust in our defense.
So with 8:33 to play in the second quarter, the Panthers take over from their own 16-yard line. Lynn hands this ball off to Sanchez. Sanchez pounds it up the middle. He'll have a gain of about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up second down. Manny Sanchez, we mentioned his name quite a bit today, Potter. Has been the favored back. He's had 164 rushes for 769 yards with a 4.7 yards per carry on average, and 11 touchdowns on the ground as well.
Yeah, he's just a very impressive player. Senior for this squad from Hartford, Connecticut, and looking to try to keep his season going here.
So second down and 7. They did get a gain of 3 as a flag comes flying in. I believe there might have been some movement up front. It was. That's going to back up the Panthers 5 yards. So just a mental mistake right there on the part of the Panthers offense, and that's going to back them up back inside the 15.
Yeah, and those kind of plays can just come back and bite you for Plymouth State here. And, they're just looking to try to get something going, at least before the half ends here. And, making those kind of mistakes like that makes the head coach kind of go crazy, I'm sure.
The fans getting loud with defense chants in the stands. Lynn fakes the handoff. He's throwing down the field, and it's going to fall incomplete. Pass was intended for Kyle Baker out on the far side, and that's going to bring up third down and long.
Yeah, now it's just good defensive coverage there by Parker LaFrance, and if Antoine Turner was able just to play a little bit more back, he probably could have had a chance to possibly intercept that play. But the Eagles, once again, making a lot of nice defensive stops here.
So it'll be third down and 12 from their own 14-yard line for the Panthers. 7:29 to play in this second quarter. Panthers have not managed much of anything for offense today. 14-0 is the score. Lynn lines up shotgun. Sanchez in the backfield, 3 receivers set. He takes a snap. He's looking to pass. He's looking down the far side of the field. He's got a catch made. No! It's going to be stripped right out of his hands by Parker LaFrance. That's a turnover. The Eagles take over. Wow. What a play.
Yeah, definitely like you mentioned. What a play by Parker LaFrance. Looked like Kyle Baker was just going to have it himself there. And he just came in, ripped it away, and able to get the interception. Wow.
Parker LaFrance have a day. That's his second takeaway of the day. I'm not sure what this will be scored as, whether it be a fumble or an interception. But he just manhandles Kyle Baker to take that ball away. And that's going to set up Husson at the Panthers' 21-yard line. We're now with a big opportunity to take a big lead in this game.
Yeah, LaFrance is 6'1", 175, but I mean, he used a lot of that strength there to just rip that one away from him. And the Eagles here, in some dangerous territory here, could possibly do something special here.
So they are going to rule that interception as Visser takes the first down snap himself. He'll get a gain of about a yard or two on the play, so that'll set up second down. But yeah, it's going to go down as an interception by Parker LaFrance. So wow, what a play. Parker LaFrance is having himself a game here today. LaFrance, junior from West Paris, Maine, came in with 2 interceptions on the year, and today he's got himself a fumble recovery for a touchdown and an interception. It's not even halftime yet, as here comes Garnett up the middle. Big gain on the play, coming in to make the stop. That was Bronski again. That's going to bring up a third down and short situation.
And kind of like you mentioned, LaFrance just so far having a great game, able to pick up that fumble recovery and able to run it back for a touchdown, and then making that interception there. And, like you mentioned, it's not even halftime yet, so definitely he's came in and provided a lot of good things here.
So third down and 2 from the Panthers 14. Visser takes a snap. He's going to look to take it himself. He breaks 1 tackle. He's going to be brought down at about the 13-yard line, and I believe he is going to be about a yard short. That's going to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1 here. We'll see if the Eagles will decide to kick it or if they'll try to take the run here.
No, they're going to go for it. Eagles offense feeling good. They only need 1 yard. They need to get to the 12. That's the yard to gain. 4 receivers set. Visser, shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, throws out to the far side. It's tipped up to the air, and that's somehow caught. That was tipped by Bell and somehow caught, I believe. Yeah, that was Tyler Thompson on the catch. And that's a first down.
Wow.
Wow.
What a catch there by Tyler Thompson. It looked like Bell kind of tipped it because he wasn't able to get to it, and it looked like it was just going to hit the ground. And Tyler Thompson making like a Julian Edelman kind of play in the Super Bowl a few years ago and able to get a big first down.
That is good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. And what a drive saver from Tyler Thompson. That was just great heads-up football. Visser, shotgun snap, hands it off to Garnett. Garnett up the middle. And he's going to have a gain of, I believe, it looks to be about 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up second down and goal.
Another nice rush there by Elijah Garnett. He's played really well here today in this game and looking to try to, push this lead even more here for Husson.
So it'll be up marked at the 5-yard line for second and goal from the 5 for the Eagles, looking to go up 21-0 in this first half. 4 receivers set. Visser shotgun, takes a snap, keeps it himself, runs it up the middle, and he's in for the Eagles touchdown.
Nick Visser taking it himself, finding the end zone here, and the Eagles continuing their strong offensive push here.
20-0 now the score for Husson as Aaron Parody comes out to try to make it a 21-0 ball game. And you mentioned it, Potter. It has just been all Husson in this first half.
Yeah, it's definitely just so far, from last game when these two teams played off against one another to now, it's just been a completely different script here.
Snap is high, but it is brought down. The kick is up, and it is no good. It's just wide off the foot of Aaron Parody. And that will be, so the score remains at 20-0 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play until halftime of this 2022 New England Bowl game. And Potter, you can't say it enough. The offense has been doing their job so far today, but we can't give enough credit. We have to credit so much to the defense in this first half so far.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. The defense has just been phenomenal here for the Eagles. Able to force the fumble, able to get that interception that we just saw, and the Eagles just making a lot of nice stops defensively. And Plymouth State just really hasn't gotten anything going here offensively in this game. We'll see if they can be able to get something going right before the first half ends. But the Eagles' defense just been off the charts today.
So here comes Aaron Parody. They're ready to boot this one back It'll be Donahue and Paye back to receive. For the Panthers, trying to mount any sort of point, trying to put any sort of points on the board that they can. With 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play, they have all 3 of their timeouts. Husson has 2 remaining. Parody is back. Kick is on the way, and it'll be received by Paye inside the 5. He'll bring it up to the 10, the 15, out to the 20. Still on his feet as he brings it out close to the 30. He's going to be marked down at about the 28-yard line, and that is where Plymouth State will take over. They'll have 4:15 to play in this first half. Trailing 20-0 to this Eagles squad. If you're Plymouth right now, if you're Plymouth State, I don't know if I'm Coach Paul Castonia. I'm looking into my playbook. Any sort of trick play, something to try to you got to try something different. You're looking for a spark,
Right.
You just got to you're looking for some sort of spark to try to spark anything to try to get your team back into this game. They're teetering right now. Here's Lynn, shotgun snap, throws off to the near side. He's got a pass complete by Chris Coburn, who's pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5, again a 5 on the play.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Ethan, Plymouth State is just trying to look for something to get a spark plug for them going here, to try to get something going into halftime here. You know, you don't want to, go into halftime trailing almost 3 touchdowns here.
Yeah, Plymouth State, a true loss team this year. They went 8-2 in the regular season. Lynn, shotgun snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez tries to get it up the middle, but he's going to be brought down at about the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 1, but just like that, it's 3rd down again. As back to my point, Potter, they went 8-2 in the regular season. So they have not been. So this team has not played from behind very often. So it'll be interesting to see how well they play from behind today.
No, and I mean, a lot of their games have, kind of been close. The one they did lose to Western Connecticut State, they lost by a touchdown. This last one against UMass Dartmouth, they fell 46-21. And so far they still continue to struggle here in this week.
Lynn will throw on 3rd down. He's got Donahue. Donahue with a big gain in the plus territory. He's going to be brought down inside the Husson 45-yard line. And that's the big play on offense that Plymouth State needed to move the chains. So far, their biggest play on offense today, and it'll be fresh set of downs at the 44-yard line of Husson.
Yeah, definitely, like you mentioned, that was a big play there from Donahue to be able to pick up a big gain there. Clock's still running here, but we'll see what Plymouth State can do.
So 2:44 to play. Plenty of time remaining in this first half. Lynn, shotgun snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to pound it his way through. He's only going to have a gain of about a yard or 2 if he's lucky. That'll bring up 2nd down again.
Yeah, and the Eagles here looking to try to, get a stop here to possibly get the ball back and, possibly try to make one last run for it before halftime. But Plymouth State looking to try to get something going here.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the Husson 42-yard line as we tick down to just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Shotgun snap from Lynn, fakes the handoff, looking to throw down the field. Ball is tipped in the air, and is that intercepted? I believe it will be. Yes, it is. And on the interception, number 9, Eli Simmons. Husson has their 3rd takeaway of the day with inside 2 minutes to play in this first half. Oh, my goodness.
What a catch there by Eli Simmons to be able to corral his feet, get 2 feet in, and was able to force or get the interception there. The Eagles defense once again making another big stop.
The Eagles defense has just been on another level in this first half of football. Really, this season too. We have not seen the Husson defense, I don't think, this intense all year, and they've played some very intense games. But that is their 3rd takeaway of the half. And right now, they got Plymouth State on their heels.
Yeah, and I mean, this could be even a more dangerous situation here for Husson. If they're able to march down the field here, they could extend their lead with a possible another touchdown.
Minute 58 to play. The Husson has 2 timeouts. Visser's looking to throw. Now he's going to tuck and keep. He'll look to throw again. He's going to keep it on the ground. He's going to have a gain, and he is out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, good play there by Visser. Couldn't find anyone open and was able to run over to the far left side here and to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Saves a timeout. Still has 2 with 1:50 to play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 36-yard line of Husson. Visser, shotgun snap once again. Throws down the middle, pass complete to John Bell. Bell's off to the races. He's at the 40 to the 45, and he's out of bounds at the 47. They're going to mark him out at the 50-yard line. So a fresh set of downs and out of bounds for John Bell. The Eagles are at midfield.
Yeah, what a great run there by John Bell. And once again, the Eagles not having to waste a timeout here, and John Bell was able to get out of bounds.
Eagles trying to put themselves up by 4 scores going into halftime, which if you're Plymouth State at that point, it's going to be tough. Now they will get the second half kickoff, so that'll be somewhere to start for them. Visser shotgun snap again. He's looking down the field, and he's just a little overthrows Dom Wilson looking for the end zone. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 50. Clock stopped with 1:39 to play.
Yeah, I like that idea by the Eagles to think about going long there, and just Visser just threw it a little bit too far in front of Dom Wilson to be able to get to that.
So Husson at midfield, 2nd down and 10. With a 20-0 advantage, but are looking for more before the halftime break. Visser, shotgun snap. He fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's up the middle, still on his feet at the 40. The ball comes loose. Ball is loose on the ground. There's a pile for it near the 32-yard line. And I believe Plymouth State is going to recover. It's going to be recovered by Paye. And Plymouth State, just like that, gets the ball right back.
And that was a much-needed stop there from Plymouth State to. It looked like Visser there. He had it. He kind of fumbled it a little bit and just wasn't able to get back to it in time. But that was definitely a much-needed stop for Plymouth State, as Husson could have possibly extended that lead to almost a 4-touchdown lead.
So we mentioned the intensity of Husson, who has gotten 3 takeaways. The offense now has turned it over 3 times in this half. Visser now with an interception and a fumble. And we saw Lober fumble it earlier in the half as well. And again, just like the Lober fumble, Visser just lost it. So with 1:29 and 3 timeouts, here comes Plymouth State again. Brendan Lynn. Shotgun snap, hands off, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. He tucks it and runs. He's at the 40 to 45 to 50, still on his feet. Still on his feet. He's going to break a tackle. He is still on his feet all the way down inside the Eagles' 25-yard line. And what a run from Braden Lynn.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that was a great run there by Braden Lynn. Able to get it all the way down to the 26-yard line in Eagles territory here. And Plymouth State could possibly get something going here right before the half ends.
A much-needed takeaway from the Panthers. When you thought they were starting to teeter, Husson had them on their heels. Visser turns the ball over, and just like that, they're inside the 26. Lynn, shotgun snap again. He's stepping back to throw. He's under pressure. Tips it. This one throws, and it's going to be knocked down on the deflection. That was DJ Wilson. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, good play there by the Eagles to rush at Lynn there. And was able to get a tip on it, but nobody was able to corral it.
So clock stop with 1:10 to play, 2nd down and 10. Plymouth still has all 3 timeouts if they need them. And at this point in the game, Potter, you feel for Plymouth State like you need some sort of points here. End of the half, you get the second half kickoff. Quick throw from Lynn is overthrown. He was looking for Donahue again, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, like you were mentioning, Ethan, with them getting the ball back, in the second half, it's even more important to try to be able to score here and, try to get something going into halftime as you also get the ball back.
So 3rd down and 10 for Plymouth State with 1:07 to play, trailing 20-0 to Husson in looking for any sort of points before the halftime break. Lynn sends Donahue in motion. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He'll get this one out to the flat, and he is going to go absolutely nowhere. It's going to be a loss. That one was dumped off to Jack Glanville, number 33, but the Husson defense was not fooled by that one. And it's going to be a 4th down and long situation as we have a timeout called on the field with 58 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, the Eagles once again do a lot of good things defensively here and able to force the 4th down, and it probably is going to mean that the Plymouth State will have to kick it away here.
So Coach Nat Clark calls the timeout. Husson will have one more remaining. So now a big play here. I believe Plymouth State will keep the offense on the field and try to go for it here. It's just a little bit out of field goal range, but obviously you can't punt it from here. So try to go for it, see what you can do.
Right.
But if you're Husson here, you got to be feeling really good. Your defense forces another 4th down and long situation, which you really can't ask much more from your defense in this first half.
No, definitely. Nat Clark has to be really pleased with the defensive effort here in this first half. I mean, obviously, there's still a whole nother half left to be played here. But if you're Husson, you definitely have to be feeling good with the way you've been playing here to start off in this game and how things will turn out here in the second half.
Yep. Halftime coming up. We'll break down the entire first half for you. 6 turnovers combined between these two teams in the first half. That'll be a big talking point for us. As here we go, 4th down and 15 from the 31-yard line of Husson coming up for the Panthers. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's dropping back to throw. He's throwing deep down the field, and he's got a catch made at close to the 10-yard line. Catch made by Jake Donahue, and a big completion on 4th down and long. And that's a 1st down with the clock stop, and that's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, and if you're Husson defense, that's exactly what you didn't want there. As Plymouth State able to get the 1st down here on long, and 50 seconds left.
So 1st down and 10. 1st down and goal. 1st down and 10 from the 11. This one's going to be handed off to Glanville. Glanville's up the middle, still on his feet, and he is going to be dragged down close to the 5-yard line. Clock continuing to run down to 38 seconds. Plymouth has all 3 timeouts, and now they will spend one of their 3 timeouts. So at this point in time, they have to get it to the 1-yard line to set up an end goal situation. But right now, realistically for Plymouth State, you have probably 4 or 5 shots to get into the end zone here.
Yeah, you definitely do, and 36 seconds is still a lot of time to be able to do something, and you do still have Plymouth State still has 2 timeouts left, so definitely will be a good chance here for Plymouth State to try to punch one in here, and it could mean a lot, as this could give them some momentum going into the second half.
As mentioned, Plymouth State will receive the second half kickoff. So if they can get at least 6, if they can get a score here, and if they can get a score here and then make some halftime adjustments, come out firing, they can very well get back into this game. Game not over by any means. We still got 30 more minutes of football left to play. Out of the timeout, it'll be 2nd down and 3 from the 4-yard line. Lynn lining up shotgun. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's rolling out to the far side. He's throwing to the end zone. He's got Donahue. Did he get his feet in bounds? Yes, he did. And the Plymouth State Panthers find the scoreboard on the touchdown with 30 seconds to play in this first half.
Yeah, and Plymouth State able to get that big touchdown there. And that's definitely what they needed, Ethan, right before this half ends. And a great catch there by Donahue. What didn't look very easy, and was able to get both of his feet in for the touchdown.
DeSalvo out for the extra point to make it 20-7. Snap is down, and the kick is up, and it is good. And the Panthers, with 30 seconds to play in the first half, find the end zone. And that right there, Potter, goes back to the Nick Visser turnover at the Plymouth State 40-yard line. He had the first down. It looked like the Eagles were looking to put the Panthers away right before the half. And Visser, with the Visser with the fumble. He was untouched, just lost the football, and the Panthers finally take advantage.
Yeah, like you mentioned that, the Visser fumble, it could have led to the Eagles possibly going up, almost 4 touchdowns heading into the second half. And just has been a turn of events here. Plymouth State able to march down the field there, able to get that first down on 4th and long there. And they were able to find Donahue in the end zone. And now it's just they're only trailing by 2 touchdowns here. But, we'll see what happens here if the Eagles will try to get something going right before the half ends. But Plymouth State, you have to kind of feel good scoring that, getting on the board, and now you're going to be able to have the ball in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see what Husson decides to do here. After the return, you might have 25, 26 seconds to play. We'll see if they just decide to kneel it down and go into the half with a 20-7 lead, or if they try to make something happen. DeSalvo back to kick it deep. Back to receive is Cam Holmes and John Bell for Husson. DeSalvo. It's a little squib kick. It's going to go to about the 30. It's going to be picked up and being brought down at about the 41-yard line. He'll be returned by number 39. That's Giovanni De Leon.
Yep.
And that'll set up a first down and 10 from about the 43-yard line of Husson with 27 seconds to play. They do have a timeout here. So we'll see. We'll see what Husson decides to do here. If they just decide to take a couple knees going to the half, or if they'll try to make something happen.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens here. If they'll just say, no, we don't really want to risk it and, just take it, but it looks like they'll line up here.
Visser shotgun snap. He is looking to throw. He's going to look deep down the field, and going up for the reception was Cam Holmes. It's going to fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up second down.
Yeah, it was a good look there by Visser to find Holmes, but kind of just was a little bit kind of too difficult for Holmes to be able to corral that one. And the clock does stop, though, if you're the Eagles here.
27 seconds to play. Eagles do have one timeout, second down and 10 from their own 43. Visser's going to line up shotgun again. So Visser takes it again, dropping back to throw. It'll be a little sidearm throw, and it's going to fall incomplete. It looks like he was trying to get one to Lober, but it's going to bring up third down and 10.
And it looks like the Eagles here, we'll see if they will still try to go for it here.
I think at this point in time, you might. Now Visser does have quite the arm. Maybe try if your offensive line can buy Visser enough time. Try to get your receivers down to the end zone, take a deep shot, or you don't try to take a deep shot. You don't even have to get to the end zone. Get to the 20, the 15. Call a timeout because the Eagles do have one left, and then you could take maybe 1 or 2 shots to the end zone.
Right.
So Visser, shotgun snap. He bobbles the snap. He gets it up to the far side to Bell. John Bell runs it up the far side. He's going to be out of bounds close to the 50. Not enough for a first down. So that's going to bring up a fourth down. But a flag does come flying in near the Husson 45-yard line. So we'll wait on the flag.
Yeah, and before on the play, too, Visser didn't look like he was ready for the snap there. Was able to get it in and make a throw over to Bell, but like you mentioned, there is a flag.
He'll be holding against Husson on the play. So we'll see what happens. So it looks like the Panthers declined the penalty. Yeah, which is probably a smart thing to do. It's fourth down situation. Yeah, they do decline the penalty, so it'll stay fourth down. So we'll decide what Husson decides to do, and then we'll bring up the punting unit. With 13 seconds to play. So with 13 seconds to play, Husson will look to punt it deep. I can't imagine Plymouth State will have much time to do anything. Maybe a deep shot or two. Snap is away, and we had some movement on the line of scrimmage as multiple flags come flying in. So we'll see where the movement was. It looked like there was, from my point of view, Potter, it looked like there was some movement on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it looks like it's looking more going to be called on Husson here. Not really sure what it was. Might have been a false start.
And of course, you got Husson saying Plymouth did something wrong. You got Plymouth saying that Husson did something wrong. So here's the call.
Oh,
interesting. A delay of game against the defense. I couldn't quite hear the explanation, but either way, that's something you don't hear very often.
no, that was definitely surprising. I thought it was going to be called a false start on one of the two sides.
Something to do with movement on the front of something to do with movement on the front of the line. Okay, thank you, Huey. Thank you, Huey. According to our producer Tyler Huey, they forced the line to move, which brings up a delay of game. So it's going to set up a 4th down and 3 now. It moves into the plus territory. The Eagles will still punt. There'll be 11 seconds to play. No, they will reset the clock to 13 seconds. So in a way, that's a good thing for Husson. They can will allow Parity to get it a few yards deeper and run as much time off the clock as they can. I imagine this Paille's back to receive. We may very well see if Paille can get as far as he can, and depending on where he can get, we might see a deep shot to the end zone. We may see Plymouth State just kneel it out because they do receive the second half kickoff. And more moving on the line, and another flag comes flying in. And if this is against Plymouth, it's a first down for Husson.
Yeah, and it could. And I think it is going to go on Plymouth State here, and
that's if this goes against Plymouth, then that's another just a costly mental mistake, and it is offsides again. It's going to be an offsides against Plymouth State. That's a first down for Husson. They're going to have another couple shots at the end zone here.
And it looks like Visser in the offensive line here will head back out there, and the Eagles could. I mean, there's 13 seconds left. The Eagles do still have a timeout, that could possibly do something where they can get a little closer to try to maybe go for a touchdown here or maybe possibly kick it for a field goal.
So they'll have it at the Plymouth State 44-yard line. 13 seconds to play. They have a timeout to work with. So just a couple of costly errors from the Plymouth State defense. Visser, shotgun snap. He's going to roll out to the near side trying to throw. He's going to send it towards the end zone. It is well out of bounds, incomplete. But a couple of flags come flying back, and I believe we'll most likely, in similar situations to this, we're going to see holding against the offense, which will probably mark the end of the half.
And I think that might be going against Fielder here for Husson.
Yeah, and the official is signaling holding against Husson, waiting to see what Plymouth State decides to do here, if they want to accept or if they want to decline. So they got 2 flags. So they got holding on both Hicks and Hayden Fielder. They declined the Fielder, and they're going to accept the Hicks. So that brings up first down and 20 from their own 41. Excuse me, 45. So Visser rolls out quickly, has a completion out to Dom Wilson. Wilson is going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. It's going to set up a second down, and we're down to 2 seconds to play.
Yeah, and looks like the Eagles are just going to try to.
Yeah, now you're going to have they're setting a bunch of receivers in. Now you just have a deep shot at the end zone and you hope for the best.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to look for here. Just try to give it to Visser and try to just throw it towards the end zone and just hope that somebody will be able to be there to receive it.
So, and now more whistles come flying in. It's going to be a timeout called against Plymouth State, who had about 8 of 11 players back in coverage, which would be expected in a Hail Mary situation like this. So timeout called by Plymouth. They'll have 1 to go. Not that it matters in this first half. 2 seconds to play. This will be the final play of the half right here, pending a defensive penalty.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen quite a bit of penalties being thrown here in these last minute, it feels like. But, the Eagles here will look to try to make something happen here.
Yeah, and I believe normally in a regular season we might not have seen the end of the half go this long. Like, it has been a long final 2 minutes of this half, but it's a bowl game, and this is the last game of the season for both of these teams. You're leaving it all out there, a chance to bring home some hardware to both of your schools. You're pulling out all the stops that you can, and of course, a couple of costly penalties on 4th down against Plymouth. So here we go right here. Visser shotgun snap. He's going to get it out to Cam Holmes. It's over his head. It's incomplete. That's the end of the half. Looking for flags. There are none, so that's going to bring us into halftime.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a good first half here for the Eagles, making a lot of good stops defensively. Plymouth State getting some momentum to end out that first half, finally able to score that touchdown, and they'll head into the second half, like we mentioned, starting off with the ball and could possibly lead to something here, but if you're the Eagles, I think you definitely have to be pleased, though, with that first half and how you played.
Absolutely. 20-7 is the score. We go into halftime. We're going to step aside for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll break down the first half. 20-7 in the 2022 New England Bowl. You're watching on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And we're back from the Wicked Sports Complex on the campus of Husson University. We're at halftime in this 2022 New England Bowl game. Plymouth State Panthers and the Husson University Eagles alongside Isaac Potter. I'm Ethan Snow, and Potter, if you're on the side of the Husson University Eagles, you really couldn't have asked for a better first half. You went up 20-0. Your defense was playing great. Your offense was playing fairly well, but the number one star for the Eagles in that first half has got to be their defense.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that. Their defense definitely has taken up another level. Obviously, they did kind of give up that touchdown near the end of that first half, but I thought I was just really impressed with the way how Husson came out, especially in that first quarter, scoring 2 touchdowns, able to get a lot of good defensive stops, and Plymouth State kind of did get something going into halftime, but really, like you mentioned, Husson's defense has just been off the charts here today.
Yeah, 3 takeaways so far against this Plymouth State offense. A couple of fumbles. They stripped it. Manny Sanchez was stripped on the Panthers' very first drive of the day. Parker LaFrance picks it up and brings it home for the score. That was the first points all the way back in the first quarter. And then we saw Jack Landville also came away, was also stripped, and Husson jumped on top of that one. And we saw Parker LaFrance. So far, he's having a heck of a game. LaFrance, we talked a little bit about it during the break, Potter. You mentioned Kyle Baker, the tight end for Plymouth State. He's listed at 6'2", 220 pounds, and Parker LaFrance, who is at 6'1", 175 pounds, and he just ripped that ball right out of the hands of Baker.
Yeah, and it surprised, I think, a lot of people here. It looked like Baker was just making a nice catch and was able to possibly pick up quite a bit of yardage, but Parker LaFrance just came in, just took it away from him, and Baker's about 50 pounds stronger than him, so for him to be able to take that away from him and to be able to give it some big momentum for Husson, as that did lead to a touchdown, and Parker LaFrance just has had a really good game so far.
Yeah, Visser ended up taking it in himself just a little bit later on in the drive. But we turn it to the other side of the coin. The Husson offense, they've scored on 2 of their drives, but that first half was not the cleanest the first half. The scoreboard doesn't quite tell the whole story. They're up 20-7. The defense has played great, but the offense has been on the sloppy side.
Yeah, it definitely has been a little bit sloppy, especially a little bit towards that end of the first half there. It's really their defense was kind of what was kind of creating their offense, because it's kind of been almost a similar situation between both of these teams, like on the way they're playing, but it was just more of Husson, with their defensive stops to be able to provide and score the touchdowns. But I thought the Eagles' offense was a little bit sloppy. Visser giving up that fumble right near the end of the first half, and it led to a Plymouth State scoring. It kind of changed a little bit of possibly this outcome of the game, and we'll see if this second half the Eagles' offense will look to try to pick up some of the sloppiness. But the Eagles right now still hanging on to a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, Visser so far in the day, 14 for 21, and with the interception, he threw the 1 pick on the opening drive of the game. 116 yards, has a long of 16 yards, and John Bell on the receiving end has been the top receiver, 4 receptions for 38 yards. No receiving touchdowns for the Eagles. Both scores have come on the ground. One from Elijah Garnett. He's had 5 rushes for 54 yards. Has averaged 10.8 yards on a carry. So Garnett has been very efficient today on the ground. And, of course, had the 26-yard rushing touchdown to put him up 14-0. And, of course, Visser, as we mentioned, on that LaFrance interception, took it in himself a couple of plays later. And, of course, the LaFrance, on the very first scoring play of the game, about a 35-yard scoop and score after Sanchez was stripped, which put up the first points of the game. But Visser so far has 2 of the Eagles' 3 total turnovers. Of course, the interception on the opening drive, and had the fumble loss at the Panthers' about the Panthers' 40 to the 35-yard line, which set up that Panthers' first score of the game. And the Panthers will receive the second half kickoff, so a chance for the Panthers to get back into this contest. And you and I mentioned it during the break, Potter. That fumble right there really could have changed the complexion of the second half.
Yeah, it really could have, and and especially with the way the Eagles had that momentum on their side right after the Eli Simmons interception, they were able to really push the ball up the field, and that fumble really changed a lot, as it could have just been possibly a 4-touchdown lead here for Husson going into the second half, and now they're just only leading by 2, and with Plymouth State getting the ball back, and so I'm going to be really curious to see how Plymouth State will respond here in the second half. If they happen to do score early, that changes the game just absolutely completely.
Hey, we look at the other side. Braden Lynn, the MASCAC Rookie of the Year. So far, 10 of 20 with 2 interceptions. That's been the big drive killer for Plymouth State so far. 2 picks from the hand of Braden Lynn. He does have a touchdown reception. He found Jake Donahue, who has been his favorite receiver so far today. He's had 6 catches for 67 yards, and of course that 21-yard touchdown with 30 seconds remaining in the half. That's so far been the scoring for Plymouth State. On the ground, Manny Sanchez has been the guy. 12 attempts for 42 yards with a 3.5 yards on the ground average. Sanchez has been efficient ever since that opening drive fumble, which resulted in the Husson score.
Right, and Lynn, made also a nice run before they did score that touchdown and was able to really get it up the field and get it to about, I think it was like maybe the 30 or the 25-yard line.
Yeah, listed right here on the stats is a 41-yard run for Braden Lynn, which ended up set up that scoring play.
Right, and even they had it on 4th down too, 4th and long, and Lynn found Donahue to get that first down. Obviously, they did happen to score, and that's what they needed, though, to go into halftime here, to get that momentum on their side. And I'm sure, there's still a lot of things Plymouth State is going to have to do to clean things up. But, definitely if you're going into halftime, you have to feel better about yourself for Plymouth State than going down with no scoring at all, or going down 4 touchdowns. You have to be very pleased to only be down 2 touchdowns right now.
Yeah, you like to see. If I was on the Plymouth State side of things, I would like to see better efficiency on 3rd downs. Plymouth State 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. I'd like to see him clean that up a little bit. Penalties, usually in discussing Husson Eagles football, penalties always seem to be a factor. Hasn't really been much of anything today. Plymouth State 3 penalties for 15 yards. Husson has only had 2 for 20 yards. So it's been, on the penalty side of things, it's been a very clean game on both sides of the field. Really, I would say the only penalty blunder was Plymouth State on the 4th down situation. Had a chance to get the ball back. Maybe could have set up a couple of long shots in the end zone. We had a defensive delay of game, and then an offsides, which gave Husson the first down, which eventually let him run the rest of the half down. But so far, penalties have not been that much of a factor, and we'll see if both teams can keep that up going into the second half. And as I mentioned again, third down efficiency is something I'd like to see Plymouth improve on, and really just clean up, and for both sides, clean up the turnovers. I mean, I understand it's a bowl game. This is the first time both of these squads have been in any sort of postseason play in a long time. Husson 2018. They might have a couple of players left over from that last ECFC championship, but that's not a lot. And for Plymouth State, none of them have seen any sort of postseason play. So I understand nerves are high, mistakes can happen, but this is still a football game. This is your season right here. You got a chance to go home with some hardware or not, and you definitely got to clean up the turnovers in the second half.
Yeah, definitely like you mentioned, there's obviously nerves in this game, with this game meaning something for both of these sides, looking to take home some hardware. And I'm really excited to see how this one will turn out. I think we could have a really exciting finish here. And we'll see how Plymouth State will respond here to start the second half. And we'll see if Husson's defense will continue to be strong here.
So we are going to take one final timeout. The teams have returned to the field. Husson is out there stretching. We're going to take one more step aside, and we'll be back for the second half. You're watching the 2022 New England Bowl on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back from the Wicked Sports Complex on the campus of Husson University as we get ready to get the second half underway of this 2022 New England Bowl game. It's the Plymouth State Panthers taking on the Husson University Eagles. Back alongside Isaac Potter, I'm Ethan Snow. The Eagles with a 20-7 advantage as we get ready to begin this second half. It'll be Aaron Parody kicking things off to get this second half underway. Going all the way back before the game, Potter, Plymouth State won the toss, deferred. And they did put up a score inside the final 30 seconds of the first half. So they will get themselves the ball first to start this third quarter and have a chance to get back into this game. As Parody gets ready to kick things away. Kick is on the way. It is end over end. It'll be fielded by Paye at about the 3-yard line. He'll bring this one up to the 15. He's going to get dragged down at about the 21-yard line. And that is where Plymouth State will take over for the first time in this second half.
I think that might have been number 34, Ricky Hendricks, taking him down on the play there.
So from the 23-yard line, that is where Braden Lynn and company will take over. Lynn, the MASCAC Offensive Rookie of the Year, took over the starting quarterback role for the Panthers this season. First down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Lynn lines up under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez, and Sanchez will have a gain of about 4 on the play. It'll bring up second down.
And Sanchez, I thought, played well in that first half. He did have a fumble, but I thought he played really well here in that first half. We'll see if he looks to try to continue his strong going here in the second half and look to try to bring his team back in this.
We didn't mention it during halftime, Potter, but something I would like to see Lynn try to get some other receivers involved. We mentioned Donahue has 6 receptions. Everybody else he's targeted through the air has 1. I'd like to see other receivers get back, try to get more involved in the offense, try to spread it out a little bit. As Lynn hands this one off to his fullback, that's number 37, Thanos Balukas. He's going to have a gain of a few on the play. It's going to set up a 3rd down and short situation.
At the Eagles looking to try to hold them here, to try to force that 4th down. And so far they've had 2 nice stops here.
Phoebus Floyd involved, bringing him down. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 from the 31-yard line of Plymouth. Trying to prevent a 3-and-out on their opening drive of this 3rd quarter, trying to get back into this game. Lynn under center sends Donahue in motion. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to find some second wind, trying to get it across the line to gain, and I believe he's got it. Yes, he does. He gets it just to the line to gain on the second wind that he got. It'll bring up a Plymouth State 1st down.
Yeah, big 1st down there for Plymouth State. You know, with them starting off the ball here with the second half, you definitely, don't want to turn it over. You want to look to try to keep that momentum going like the end of that 1st half, and big 1st down there for them.
We'll go down as a gain of 3 on the play. It'll be at the 34-yard line of Plymouth State. 13:09 to play in this 3rd quarter. The Panthers looking for more points, down 20-7 in this New England Bowl game. Lynn under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez again, and Sanchez is going to get wrapped up in the backfield. He goes absolutely nowhere coming in on the play. That was DJ Wilson.
Have a nice tackle there by Wilson to
Javon Osborne in on the play as well.
Yeah, it looks like they lost a yard there on that play.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 11, or the loss of 1. Could have been a whole lot worse. So Lynn under center again, 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers out wide. And fakes the handoff to Sanchez. He's looking down the field to throw. He's under pressure, and he's going to throw it down the middle of the field. It's going to fall incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down and long. And out of that whole play, Potter, that was probably the best case scenario.
Yeah, it definitely was. That probably could have been about almost a loss of 10 there on the play, and it looked like it was a miscommunication between him and Donahue of kind of which route he was supposed to take, and could have been dangerous there, but Lynn was able to throw it away and just be an incomplete pass.
So 3rd down and 11 from their own 33-yard line. Plymouth State converted on 3rd down once this drive. They're going to have to do it again here, and we have whistles flying in and a timeout called by Plymouth State. So not even 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter, they're going to burn the first of their 3 timeouts this half.
Yeah, and definitely probably not what you want for Plymouth State, especially having to use a timeout, so early here in this second half. But, the Eagles' defense looked like it was just the Plymouth State's offense, they just didn't really like how things looked up there, and they kind of had to force that timeout.
So it'll be want to talk things over just a little bit more. And this is a big 3rd down coming up right here. And again, Potter, we talk about still plenty of time left in the game, but at this point in the field, I mean, if you're Plymouth State, you have to get something going now. Like, you have to you're down 2 scores. It was worse. You were down 3 scores. But now you're down 2 scores, so it's a little bit better. But you got to treat every single drive like it could be your last one, especially in a bowl game like this. Yeah. So here we go. 3rd down and 11 coming up. They're 4 of 10 on 3rd down today. Lynn will line up shotgun. He's got his fullback. Sends Donahue in motion. 3 receiver set. Lynn, shotgun snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's got plenty of room to pass. Plenty of time. Now he's going to roll up to the far side. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to slide down close to the 1st down marker. But I think they're going to mark him 1 yard short. I'm looking right down where they're marking the Potter, and he's 1 yard short.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be just short.
And I believe there was a flag did come back down near the line of scrimmage that I did not see. It was on the far side of the field. And this one may very well be coming back.
And yes, it looks like it will be going back.
It was a personal foul. I believe it might have been an illegal block called against the Panthers. So that's going to back them up all the way inside the 20. That was a personal foul, so that's going to back them up all the way, it looks like, to about the 18-yard line. So now they got to get all the way to about the 44. So this is going to be a huge third down to try to convert here.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw last time at the end of that first half, kind of almost a similar situation here for Plymouth State, able to get the first down, but a little bit in tough coverage here, so we'll see what happens.
Third down and 26 would officially be scored. Lynn dropping back to throw. He's under pressure, stays on his feet, still breaks another sack. He's just going to throw this one deep down the field, and it's intercepted at the 43-yard line. The fourth takeaway for this Eagles defense at the 43-yard line, and the Husson will take over from there.
And it looks like it's once again Eli Simmons with the interception on the play, his second one of the game. This came in and provided a big impact for this team here today.
Simmons had an interception late in the second quarter. They take it away along the sideline, and he comes up with his second interception of the day here. So Eli Simmons and Parker LaFrance, man, are they having great days so far for this defense?
They definitely have, both of them playing safety positions, and they've had a phenomenal game so far. And the Eagles defense, once again, making another turnover.
Braden Lynn with his third interception of the day. He has matched his season long. And this is a bit of a hook and ladder play. Visser deep down the field to Lober. He's got Lober wide open, and he's dragged down at the 10-yard line. Oh, a big trick play right there. It was Visser to Lober to Bell, back to Visser, and Lober went down the field, and he gets it down to the 10-yard line, and the Eagles are in business.
Yeah, what a trick play there. Kind of looked like a little hot potato kind of action there. On his way to Lober, to Bell, back to Visser, and Visser finding Lober down the field, marked around the 9-yard line.
Wow. Coach Nat Clark pulling one out of the trick, pulling a trick out of the hat right there. So it's going to set up first down and goal from the 10-yard line. Visser lines up shotgun, takes a snap, hands it off to Garnett. Garnett trying to break a tackle. He's going to get dragged down. It'll be a gain of about 2. That'll set up second down and goal.
And what a way, the Eagles here have came out in the second half. It looked like going into halftime, Plymouth State was starting to finally get something going with some momentum. But the Eagles getting that interception, that nice play to Lober, and the Eagles here could possibly punch in another touchdown here.
So it'll be second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Visser shotgun snap, pitches it to Garnett, who pitches it to Bell. Bell throwing to the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Visser. That might have been a callback to an old play that we know very well from a certain Philadelphia team. That almost looked like a variation of the Philly special.
They almost did, and man, if they were able to complete on that play, I think this whole crowd would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
So
for the second time this drive, Husson looking into the book of tricks. Unfortunately, this one falls incomplete. It's going to set up third down and goal. But I believe that was the Husson's variation of the Philly special. So it'll be a shotgun snap from Visser on third down. He's going to take it himself, but he's going to be blown up right up the middle. He might have a gain of 2 on the play, but it's going to bring out fourth down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and I'll be curious here. Looks like they're going to probably bring out the kicking unit, and we'll try to kick a field goal here.
Aaron Parody and the special teams will make their way onto the field. We'll try to make this a 23-7 ball game, which if Husson can get themselves some points off another turnover here, that's really all you can ask for.
Right, as long as you come away with putting some points on the board, like you said, Coach Clark's going to be happy with that.
So Max Clark will hold. Snap is down. The kick is up, and it is no good. He went wide to the right with it. So that is where Plymouth State will take over. So the turnover from Braden Lynn doesn't quite come back to bite him, as Husson can get no points off the turnover, and Plymouth State will take over for the second time this quarter.
Yeah, definitely a tough miss there for the Eagles, as could have tried to extend their lead a little more, but just coming up just short. But Plymouth State would get it back, and they'll look to try to respond right back here.
So, Braden Lynn, as I was starting to mention, Potter, he came into this season with only 3 interceptions on the year, and so he's thrown 3 interceptions here today. So it's been not the best of games from Braden Lynn. As he'll line up under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez up the middle, and he's going to be dragged down at about the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, nice carry there by Sanchez, able to pick out, I believe it was about 5 yards there. And Plymouth State looking to try to march down the field here and try to bring this one a little closer.
So Plymouth State with another chance trying to get back into this game. Still a 20-7 lead. This Husson defense trying to get the crowd back into it. The crowd is falling them just a little bit flat after that Parody missed field goal. Plymouth sending a man in motion. Shot under center snap. Lynn hands it off to Sanchez again. A flag comes flying in. Sanchez is going to be dragged down at about the 31-yard line. It'll be good enough for a 1st down. But the flag back comes flying in back near the original line of scrimmage. So we'll see what the flag is. This one may very well be coming back.
Yeah, once again was another nice run there by Sanchez, but
no, it's going to be a personal foul called against the defense. So that's going to tack on 15 yards to the end of the play.
That's not what you want there for the Eagles. You know, earlier on in the season, we kind of saw how some of the penalties, you know, came back to bite them. This is kind of not what you really want here if you're Husson.
Yeah, so it was a face mask penalty against the defense. So tack on 15 more yards to the end of the run, and just like that, the ball is moved up to the 46-yard line of Plymouth. So the penalties help Plymouth out a little bit on this drive. 1st down and 10 from there. Lynn lines up shotgun, takes a snap. He's looking to throw. It's a quick pass to the near side. Pass is complete, and being dragged down, that was Nikos Bouzakis. Going to be dragged down at about, they're going to mark him at about the 47-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and we'll see if anything will happen here going forward the rest of the way. You kind of did mention earlier, Ethan, that you would like to, for Plymouth State, you would like to see more of the receivers get involved more. We'll see if Braden Lynn will look to try to go to a little bit more of the receiver route here going forward.
So Lynn lines up shotgun again, 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers out far. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. He brings it off to the near side. He's across the 50-yard line in the plus territory. It's going to bring up 3rd down. He'll be brought down at the Husson 49-yard line.
Nice carry there by Sanchez. Brings up 3rd down now here for Plymouth State.
Tucker Buzzell on the tackle. Buzzell has had another outstanding year leading this Eagles defense. He's a junior too, so he's going to be, him and along with a bunch of other players on this Eagles squad, going to be back next year. As it'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 49-yard line of Husson. Lynn lines up under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez to the far side. Sanchez into the pile. He's going to get backed up. He's not going to get to the line of gain. It's going to bring up a 4th down and short, and we'll see what Plymouth decides to do here.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to imagine they probably might have to try to, you know, kind of go for it here. You know, you got to get something going here offensively. This is a bowl game, and I think it looks like that they will try to go for it on 4th and 3rd.
They're 1 of 1 on 4th down today. 4th and 3 from the Husson 47-yard line. They need to get to the Husson 44. That is the line to gain. So the offense staying on the field. Lynn lines up under center. 2 in the backfield. Takes a snap. Fakes a handoff to Sanchez. He's looking down the field. He's looking deep down the field. He's got an open receiver down inside the 20. Being dragged down at the 10-yard line. And another big offensive play for Plymouth. Is going to set up a 1st down and goal. Making the grab out on the far side. That's number 88, Brian Warren. We haven't said his name much today. But it's going to set up a 1st down and goal down at the 10, inside the 10.
Yeah, what a big play there from Brian Warren to pick up that first down, and definitely some momentum here on Plymouth State's side after getting that first down on 4th down.
So first down, it'll be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Lynn under center again. He takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to pound it up the middle. He's going to be stopped. He'll have a gain of about 3 on the play. They'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Definitely, what a big play though from Warren, and it's definitely brought some life to this team now, and Plymouth State could possibly punch one in here, and it could be a 1-score game.
Yeah, Braden Lynn came up. That was one of his more accurate passes of the day so far as Warren got ahead of his defender. So here comes 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Lynn under center again. Takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. He runs off to the far side, still fighting his way to the goal line, and he is going to be marked about a yard short. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from just inside the 1 as we have an injured Panther on the play. That's number 71. That's Teddy Fellows hobbling off the field as he falls to the ground just out of bounds. So Bellows, he's the starting right tackle for this Plymouth Panthers team. So it's going to bring in Michael Smolin.
You could probably expect Plymouth State will just try to run this one in.
So 3rd and goal from the 1. Lynn sends a man in motion. Lynn takes a snap, he gives it to his fullback, and he walks it into the end zone, and he's in for the Plymouth Panthers touchdown. And the Panthers are back in the game.
Definitely, like you mentioned, the Panthers are definitely back in the game now. Scoring a nice play there. 4:24 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and there's still a lot of football left to be played here.
Thanos Balukas runs it in from 1 yard out, untouched. As DeSalvo is out to make this a 6-point game. 20-13, 4:24 to play. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And so just like that, the Panthers are up by 6, and I believe that's DeSalvo who's on the ground shaken up. If there's a flag down on the play, and we might get a roughing the kicker call here.
Yeah, I believe that what it happens to be. It looked like he looked to be a little shaken up in the ankle after that play. Looks like it will be a penalty.
So a flag did come down. DeSalvo does. So it's only a running into the kicker call. So that was fortunate for Husson, only running into the kicker. The penalties decline, the extra point stands, and just like that, it is a 6-point game. And Potter, you mentioned, we've talked a lot about it towards the end of that 2nd quarter. You look at it now as a 6-point game, and you got to look back to that Nick Visser fumble. Right. You had a 1st down, a chance to put and at that point it was 20-0.
Right.
You have a chance to run some more time down and possibly even go up by 4 scores. That fumble has so far changed the complexion of this ball game, and just like that, we went from 20-0. It is now 20-14 with just under 5 minutes to play in this 3rd.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that Visser fumble could have possibly lead to another touchdown for the Eagles to go up 4 scores. And then, obviously I think they gave up that 1st down when it was 4th and long. Then the Plymouth State went on to score. Obviously that missed field goal could possibly mean something in the long run here. There's still lots of time left here for Husson, to still try to push that lead even more. But Plymouth State right now, they definitely have, the momentum on their side.
14 unanswered points for Plymouth State so far from about 30 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter all the way up to this point in the 3rd quarter. DeSalvo out there wasn't shaken up too bad. He'll kick this one back to Husson. John Bell, Cam Holmes back to receive. Kick on the way. It's a corking kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line. And still on his feet and being dragged down at about the 30. That's John Bell on the return. And that's where the Husson offense will take over.
Yeah, nice little run there by John Bell. Got to, like you said, about the 30-yard line. We'll see what happens here with Husson. They'll look to try to, march it down the field to try to get something going, to push that lead a little bit more to more of a comfortable lead right now.
So a 6-point game As you mentioned, Potter, Plymouth definitely has the momentum on their side right now. This is a big drive coming up for the Eagles, who forced another Lynn takeaway but could not get any points out of it as Visser takes a snap, hands it off to Garnett, and Garnett's going to get dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be a loss of at least 4 or 5 on the play. Garnett hesitated, tried to keep going out to that far side, and instead he's tracked down, and that's going to be a loss of 4.
Yeah, what a nice play there. I could not make out of the number there and was able to force it back 4 yards there, and now it's 2nd and 14.
So it'll be 2nd down and 14 from their own 26-yard line of Husson. 3:44 and counting in this third quarter. Visser sends a man in motion. That's Dom Wilson. Shotgun snap, fakes the handoff. Looking down the field, he's got a completion out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. That's Russ Walker on the far side. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, good pass once again to Visser to Russ Walker. They've had a lot of those nice little plays, throughout this game here from Visser to Russ Walker, and he's definitely so far played really well.
So 3rd down and 5 from the Eagles' own 35-yard line coming up. Plymouth State trying to get a stop. Shotgun snap, he's looking to throw, looking down the middle of the field. He's got Russ Walker, he's down at the 45. Good enough for another Eagles 1st down as they get towards midfield.
Once again, the Visser to Walker connection, picking up that big 1st down after was down on 2nd and 14, able to get some nice 2 big catches there and get the 1st down.
Russ Walker has, in a way, been almost the number 2 receiver right behind Bell. 35 receptions for 416 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season for Russ Walker coming into today. 1st down and 10 from their own 46. Visser shotgun snap, looking to throw against a quick throw out in the flat to Garnett. Garnett avoids the tackle, stays on his feet and into plus territory. They're going to mark him down at about the Panthers' 47-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd down and short.
Yeah, so far, the past 3 drives here for the Eagles, they've done a good job to be able to move their way up the field here, and as now they're past the half-yard line here and look to try to keep it going.
Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Visser lines up shotgun again, takes a snap. He's looking to throw. No, he's going to keep it himself on the keeper. He's got the 1st down, and he's going to be dragged down at the 40. That's good enough for another Eagles 1st down as they are marching in the Panthers' territory.
Yeah, good play there by Visser to take it himself there, able to pick up that 1st down. Clock still running down here, but definitely was a good gain there from Nick Visser.
Taken down to the later stages of the 3rd quarter. Eagles on the march, trying to score their 1st points since the 2nd quarter. So far, the Panthers are on a 14-0 run. Sets up a 6-point game. Visser has a low snap, manages to wrangle it. He throws out to the far side to Bell. Bell with room to run. Still on his feet. He's got the 1st down, and he's out of bounds inside the 30. And that is good enough for another Eagles 1st down.
John Bell using that burst of speed of his, able to quickly get up the field and get that 1st down. Eagles so far have been really playing well on this drive.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the Plymouth 29-yard line. Eagles are marching right down the field, trying to make this a 2-possession game once again. Visser had 2 turnovers in that 1st half. Shotgun snap, rolls to the far near side. He's got Russ Walker. Walker trying to hurdle a man out of bounds. And they're going to mark him out close to the 20-yard line. Boy, oh boy, we don't see that very often at this level.
No, and he definitely got up there too. And what a nice play by him, and picked up a few yards on that, and 2nd and 2.
Turns it into a gain of 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2 coming up from the Panthers' 21-yard line. Panthers defense has not had much answers to this drive so far. As they'll send 4 receivers out wide. Visser lines up with Garnett. Shotgun snap, he's looking to throw again, gives it off to Walker on the near side. Walker trying to tiptoe this near sideline. He's out of bounds. And waiting to see where the spot is, and it is, once again, good enough for another Eagles 1st down.
Yeah, Visser and Russ Walker really seem to be connecting well on this drive here. I believe that's the 4th time Visser has thrown it towards Walker, and he's picking up a lot of yardage here.
There's a lot of quick throws, too. Just quick throws out into the flat, letting the speed of Walker and Bell do most of the work. And so far, it has worked so far. It'll be first down. And 10 inside the red zone as the Eagles will just let this one run out. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. 45 minutes down, 15 more to play in this 2022 New England Bowl game. Husson leads at 20-14 over the Plymouth State Panthers, and the Eagles are driving. We'll step aside and be back for the 4th quarter. You're watching the 2022 New England Bowl game on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Thing runs like a deer.
Whether you have a lawn to mow, a driveway to plow, or a garden to till, our customers know you can't beat the quality and reliability of a John Deere.
And right now at Greenway Equipment Sales, we have a great offer for you.
Get 0% APR fixed rate financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
For more offers, go to greenwayequipment.com.
See the Smith Brothers today at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Back live from the Wicked Sports Complex on the campus of Husson University. It's the 2022 New England Bowl game between the Plymouth State Panthers and the Husson University Eagles. Start of the 4th quarter from the Wicked Sports Complex alongside Isaac Potter. I'm Ethan Snow. Eagles driving with a 20-14 lead as Visser fakes the handoff, runs out to the far side, still on his feet, avoids a couple of tackles. He's going to be brought down close to the 10-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, but a gain of about 8 on the play.
Yeah, good run there by Nick Visser. Like you mentioned, he broke off a few tackles and was able to pick up a few yards, and looked like he picked up about 8.
So that was the first play of the 4th quarter. Plymouth State has scored 14 unanswered points going all the way back to towards the end of the 2nd quarter. Husson looking to end that run and put some points up for the first time in this half. 4 receiver set. Visser, shotgun snap. He's throwing. He's got a low pass to Russ Walker. And he's going to be brought down looks like it'll be brought down at about the original line of scrimmage. It was a low pass for Walker. He managed to corral it, but it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, good work by Walker wasn't an easy catch to make there. Was able to concentrate and make the catch. Didn't really pick up any gain, but a good catch though by him.
So 3rd down and 2 from the Panthers' 9-yard line. 13:45 to play in the 4th quarter. Visser, shotgun snap, hands it off to Garnett. Garnett up the middle. He's going to be brought down close to the line again. We'll wait to see what it's very, very close. I can't tell from this angle. We'll wait to see what it is. It looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short. It's going to be 4th down and inches.
Yeah, it definitely does look like it, that it's just going to be just short. I'll be curious here if they'll try to go with the field goal here, or if they will try to go for it.
And they're going to bring out the chain gang for a measurement just to make sure. But I would definitely suspect the Eagles to go for it here. You got Visser, who loves to run it, 4th and inches situation. Yeah, I would fully expect to see him keep it himself. As we'll wait to see on the measurement. It is very, very close. And he is about 3 inches short of the goal, of the line of gain.
Yeah, that short. And it definitely, I'm sure, like you probably mentioned, Ethan, I'm sure the Eagles will try to go for it since it's basically 4th and inches here. And this is big here for the Eagles, as, to be able to get this first down, it could lead to a big opportunity to push this lead.
So here we go, 4th down and inches from the 8-yard line of the Panthers. Visser's going to line up shotgun, 4 receiver set. Big play coming. Visser takes a snap. It's a quick throw out to the far side. He's got Russ Walker. Walker's got the first down, reaching for the goal line. He's short of the goal line, but more importantly, he's got the first down.
Yeah, great work there by Walker to be able to reach out for that first down. definitely comes at a big time as the time will continue to tick off the clock here.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line according to the scoreboard. Now we're going to change it to the 2. So 1st and goal from the 2-yard line of Husson, trying to go back up by 2 more scores. 12:55 and counting to play in this 4th quarter. Visser, shotgun snap, hands it off to Garnett. Garnett up the middle, trying to get a second attempt at it. The ball might have came loose, and it did, and the Panthers recover it. Oh my goodness! What a change of events.
Wow.
Wow.
What a play there by Plymouth State's defense.
And that's a touchback. Wow.
Man, definitely things have made a big turn of events here. It looked like the Eagles were right about to punch that one in to push their lead, and turns into a fumble and a touchback here.
That's the fourth turnover of the day from this Eagles offense. So it's kind of a strange story about it. For the Panthers, it's been mostly interceptions. For the Eagles, it's been mostly fumbles.
Right, and obviously we saw the Visser fumble a little earlier. Lober had a fumble earlier, and I believe that was Garnett who had the fumble as well. And it's really going to be an interesting finish here. It's the ball now given back over to Plymouth State.
So the Panthers defense with their 4th takeaway of the day, down by 6. Lynn and company back on the field as he'll hand this one off to Sanchez. And Sanchez will have a gain of about 5 to 6 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down. Of course, it was a touchback. The fumble occurred in the end zone. It was a touchback. So the Panthers got to start with it at the 20-yard line. So it was a gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Right. And if you're the Eagles here, obviously Plymouth State continuing with all the momentum on their side. If you're Husson, you're just looking to try to take it right back and try to bring some energy here going into the rest of the game.
2nd down and 4 from the 26-yard line. Man in motion for the Panthers. Lynn hands it off to Sanchez again. He'll bring it off to the near side. He's going to get a gain of maybe 1 if he's lucky. But it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, 2 nice stops here for the Eagles. And, Plymouth State looking to try to pick up that 1st down, trying to march down the field. Is if they happen to score a touchdown and then able to convert on the extra point, they'll be able to take the lead here.
So 3rd down and 4 from their own 26-yard line. After their 4th takeaway of the afternoon by this Panthers defense. Big 3rd down coming. Lynn's going to line up shotgun. Takes his snap, hands it off to the far side. That one was handed off to number 33, Jack Glanville, and he's going to be about 3 yards short, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah.
And here comes the punting unit.
Yeah, probably a good call here from Plymouth State. There still is time for you to be able to get the ball back, but, if you're the defense here for Plymouth State, you're going to have to make some stops here to have enough time to get the ball back and try to do something.
So Husson forces a 3 and out after the turnover at the goal line. And it'll be Sheehan back out to punt this one deep. Daquan Miles back to receive for the Eagles back at his own 30-yard line. Snap is away. Sheehan sends this one on the way. And Miles will let this one roll, and it's going to roll out to the far side, and it's going to roll out of bounds at about the Eagles' 31-yard line, and that is where the offense will take over with a 6-point advantage in this 4th quarter. 10:18 to play with a 6-point lead, and we'll see what the Husson offense can do here. They marched all the way down the field, and then Garnett coughed up the football at the goal line. And so we'll see if the Eagles can set up another drive to try to get themselves back up by 2. The Eagles offense has not been as efficient as we saw them in the first half, Potter.
No, and, they've kind of just make a little bit of those small mistakes, a few fumbles and, a missed field goal and stuff. And it's definitely a little shaken up.
That's a shotgun snap. Lober loses the football. He manages to gather it back up. and he's going to be brought down for a big loss. So, my word, the Eagles running backs today have been struggling to hold on to the football. Lober, that was his second fumble of the afternoon. Garnett, we saw another fumble. Fortunately for him, he was managed to land right back on top of it. It's going to be a loss of 4 on the play, and the Lober got lucky there.
Yeah, definitely. And if they happen to get that turnover, just once again can just change the game here. So
Garnett back in the backfield with Visser, lines up shotgun, takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to take off and run with it. He's coming to the near side. He gets a block from Garnett. Still on his feet, and he just runs out of bounds. They're going to mark him out at about the 36-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for an Eagles first down. No, excuse me, it's going to be Eagles third down.
Yeah, great run there by Nick Visser. Picked up a big gain there, 10-yard gain, and it's 3rd and 4th here now.
Run of 10 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4 from their own 37-yard line. A big play coming up for this Eagles offense. Garnett still in the backfield. 4 receiver set. Visser lines up shotgun. Visser takes a snap. It's a low snap. He has to bring. He gets it back up. He runs off to his far side. A flag comes flying in. He throws off to the far side. Pass intended for John Bell is incomplete, but a flag comes in, and I believe this may be holding against the offense.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to call it on holding on number 73, Ethan Hicks.
That would be Hicks's second holding call of the afternoon. And again, Visser struggling with the snap. It was a low snap. It is the holding against the offense confirmed by Hicks. As once again, this Husson offense just struggling with the football. We saw Lober lose the football, managed to land back on top of it. Visser nearly couldn't handle that snap. So the penalties decline to bring up 4th down, and here comes the Eagles punting unit again.
Yeah, and they'll have to kick it away here. And, definitely could be a big chance here for Plymouth State, depending on how they can be able to march down the field.
Well, they're going to have another opportunity at it here. Back to receive deep. Punt, parity, snap, sends it on the way. That one might have been tipped. It did not go very far. And it's going to take a Plymouth-friendly bounce. And it's going to be down at the Eagles' 48-yard line. So Plymouth is going to have great field position to start, as that punt off the foot of parity, not very good.
No, definitely not what you really wanted there for Husson. Around almost the 50-yard line, like you mentioned, it would be placed down at the 47. And with 8:45 left to play here in the game, it definitely can, we'll definitely see how Plymouth State will be able to respond here.
8:45, the way both offenses have been playing in this second half hasn't been the best. Obviously, we saw Plymouth State, they put up the only points in the second half so far, but with 8:45 to go in the game, 2 timeouts, maybe timeouts not coming a factor yet, but you're definitely starting to feel the urgency a little bit more. Lynn under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez up the middle, spin move, stays on his feet, and he's off to the races, but he's going to be stopped by the last-ditch effort by the Eagles secondary. That might have been Eli Simmons right there to grab him down by the ankles to prevent that touchdown, because if he got by Simmons, he was gone.
Yeah, and good tackle there by Simmons to be able to stop that, but what a run there from Sanchez. A nice little spin move in the middle, and was able to pick up a big first down here.
So it'll be 1st down and 10, well inside of Eagles territory from the 32. Hands it off to Sanchez again. Sanchez spin move. He's going to be dragged down. This will be a gain of 2 on the play, out to the Eagles 30. They'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was about a 15-yard gain there for Sanchez that previous drive to pick up that first down. Sanchez looking to try to bring his team back into this one and try to possibly take the lead here.
Panthers have scored 14 unanswered points, going all the way back to 30 seconds to go in the second quarter, under 8 minutes to play in the 4th. Lynn under center, 2nd down and 8. Sends a man in motion. Takes a snap, hands this off to his fullback, and still on his feet. Somebody's helmet comes undone. He's going to be brought down at about the 36-yard line. That was Thanos Balukas again. the big fullback on this Panthers team, and he lost his helmet, so he will have to come out for a play.
Yeah, once again, Balukas, you know, it's not an easy guy to try to bring down. He's done that 3 or 4 times where he's been able to stay on his feet and pick up an extra yard or two. And Lucas once again making a nice little gain.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 from the Eagles' 26-yard line. Clock continuing to run, ticking down to 7:15 to play in the 4th. 2 receivers set, 2 in the backfield for the Panthers. Lynn under center. Takes a snap, looking to throw. It's a quick throw up to the far side. He's got a catch made and a first down. He's going to be brought down at about the 20-yard line. That was Chris Coburn, again, the tight end. And that'll bring up a Panthers first down into the red zone at the 20.
Yeah, once again, Plymouth State getting the big first down. Plymouth State getting closer and closer to the end zone here.
Big 3rd down conversion from the Panthers. Under 7 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. Panthers have 2 timeouts. Trailing by 6, 20-14 is the score. Lynn under center again. Lynn takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez up the middle. He's got a first down and more. He's going to be brought down inside the 10, and that'll be first down and goal as Sanchez is starting to come to fire.
Yeah, and last time these 2 teams played, Sanchez had a big game, and he's really picked it up here in this second half. And so far, the Eagles just have not really had much of an answer for him here in the second half.
That Eagles defense has been on the field a lot this second half, and they might now be starting to feel that fatigue. The offense has not done much favors. First down and goal from the 8-yard line of Husson. Lynn under center, looking to tie this ball game. Lynn takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez runs to the near side, bounces a couple block his feet. He dives to the end zone, and he's in for the Panthers touchdown. 20 unanswered points for the Panthers, and they're an extra point away from taking their first lead.
Plymouth State just not going away. What an effort here by them, especially in the second half. And they're going to have a chance here to possibly take the lead.
Sanchez finds the end zone for the 12th time this season on the ground. That's touchdown number 12. As Sanchez now starting to come alive. DeSalvo out for the extra point to try to give the Panthers their first lead of the afternoon. 5:55 to play in the 4th. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is through. And the Panthers have their first lead of the afternoon. 21-20 is the score, and 21 unanswered points from this Panthers offense.
Wow, and I think back of kind of them scoring in the end of that first half, able to get that momentum to finally get something going. And Plymouth State, what a way for them to keep fighting. They've definitely picked it up here in this second half. There's still a lot of time here for Husson to still be able to do something. 5:55, that's a lot of time in football. But wow, what a comeback here by Plymouth State.
Just when you thought they were dead to rights late in that second quarter, Visser, again, it all goes back to that Nick Visser fumble at about the 40-yard line of Plymouth. Had the first down. Looked like they were going to drive down to get points before the end of the half, and just like that, Plymouth is up for the first time this afternoon, 21-20, 5:55 to play in this 4th quarter. In football terms, for those who may not be familiar, plenty of time. Still a lot can happen in these final 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Stick around, folks. We're in for quite the finish this afternoon. What has been a fantastic bowl game on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. DeSalvo getting ready to kick it deep. Bell and Holmes are back to receive for the Eagles, who trail for the first time today. What a game this has turned into this afternoon. DeSalvo sends this one on the way. Doesn't travel very far. It's going to be fielded by Holmes at about the 20-yard line. Holmes up the field, still on his feet, and he's going to be dragged out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. And that is where the Husson offense will take over.
Yeah, and the Eagles offense will come back out here. Now, if you're the Eagles here, you know, you're kind of a little bit just in shock of kind of like how this second half has turned around. And obviously there probably is a little bit of some frustration. If you're the Eagles, you just got to think, okay, there's still a lot of time left in the game. get composed, and focus, and they could possibly still be able to do something.
And you don't have to go down and do it here. I mean, plenty of time left. You have 3 timeouts. So obviously, would you like to do it? Yes, but you don't absolutely have to.
Right.
Even though you may feel like you have to on the offensive end of the ball. Visser hands this one off to Garnett. And Garnett is blown up in the backfield. He got absolutely nowhere on that run. That's going to be a loss of at least 5, if not more.
Yeah, it looked like that was Normando making the tackle once again. He's done a lot of good things for Plymouth State here today and able to bring it back a little bit for the Eagles.
Loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15 from their own 22 as this Eagles offense has gone quiet in this second half. And not only that Visser fumble, but you drove down to the goal line and Garnett coughed it up. So just costly as this one gets by Visser, and he's just going to dive on top of it inside the 5. And again, another offensive blunder from this Eagles team who has gone completely off the rails in this second half.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of those little mistakes that have just come back and bite them here, and that could have been a really dangerous situation once again. And here we are on 3rd down, 32 to go. The Eagles going to have to need a miracle here if they want to be able to pick up this first down.
That's the second time today a snap that was a low snap, and that time it bit them. So it is 3rd down and 32 from their own 5. Visser takes a shotgun snap in the end zone. He's looking deep down the field. He's got a catch made by Russ Walker. So they brings it back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th down and 10, and here comes the Eagles punting unit.
Yeah, Coach Nat Clark not really wanting to take a risk here, trying to go for it here on 4th down. Still lots of time as clock ticking down to about 4 minutes left to play. So we'll see what happens here, if the Eagles can be able to force a stop here or if Plymouth State will try to punch it in for another score.
Well, you're asking your offense to try to come up with a big stop here and quick. As Parody takes a snap, sends this one on the way. It's end over end. It'll take a bounce, a Plymouth State bounce at about the 38, and it's going to bounce forward and be downed at the Eagles' 41-yard line. And that's where Plymouth State will take over with the lead with 3:41 to play. So now you're up. Now, if you're the Eagles defense, this is the biggest drive of the season right here.
Yeah, it really is. You gotta be able to, get locked in here. If you're Plymouth State, you're looking to try to just keep the clock running as much as you can, get first downs, and keep the clock rolling. If you're Husson here, it's really important to be able to get these stops. Husson does still have 3 timeouts left, so they could still be able to, get a quick timeout and stuff like that.
And another big thing for Plymouth State, take care of the football. You've turned it over 4 times today. The last thing you want right now is a turnover. Lynn under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez up the middle, and a second wind is going to get him to about the 50. He broke a second wind there, and it's turned about a couple-yard gain into about a 6 to 7-yard gain. That'll be 2nd down at midfield.
Yeah, what a leap there from Sanchez. It looked like he was, going to be stopped about 2 yards shorter than that. Just made a little last-second leap, and the clock continues to run here for Plymouth State.
Taking down to just over 3 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Plymouth State with a 21-20 lead. Looking for their first bowl victory since 2007. Husson has never won a bowl game. Lynn under center again. Takes a snap, hands it off once again to Sanchez. Sanchez is going to get dragged down. Ball is loose on the ground. And I believe Plymouth managed to get back on top of it. And yes, they did. Man. So a big scare there for Plymouth. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. But Sanchez was stripped for the 2nd time today. But fortunately for them, Plymouth managed to land back on top of it.
Yeah, I think it seemed like, I'm pretty sure almost everybody in the stadium here held their breath on that play, and Plymouth State with a big sigh of relief.
Under 2:20 to play in the 4th. 3rd down and 2. 3rd down and 1 from the 48-yard line. Lynn takes a snap, hands it off to the fullback, and let's see where they mark him. It's going to be close. I think he's going to be marked about 1 yard short.
Looks like they're going to stop the clock.
We might get ourselves an official measurement here. Believe that was number 30. Believe that was number 33, Jack Glanville on the carry. And it was Glanville, and I believe we are going to get a measurement. And we will get a measurement here. This is a big spot.
It definitely is. And, you know, with how, you know, this game is going right now, the Eagles, you know, in need of, you know, turning it over here. And say if they probably do get the fourth down, you know, or if they do happen to get the first down, that almost can change a big way here for the Eagles.
So here it comes, and they got the first down by about a half a length of the football. And that is a huge measurement for Plymouth State. As when the clock starts running again, there's just over 2 minutes to play. Husson has not burned any timeouts yet. They still have all 3. As it'll be first down and 10 from Husson's 47-yard line.
And what a big first down that was, like you mentioned, Ethan. And Plymouth State, you know, I'm sure they're going to continue to keep running the ball here to look to try to take more time off the clock. And we'll see what happens.
So I do not expect Lynn to even think about putting this ball in the air. He's got 2 of his biggest fullbacks in the backfield with him. Lynn under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to Glanville again, and Glanville up the middle, spin move. He's going to be brought down. Looks like a gain of 3 on the play. And Coach Nat Clark will spend the first of his 3 timeouts.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you need to do here if you're Coach Nat Clark, to be able to stop the clock here. Like you mentioned, it was really important for them, you know, that they had those 3 timeouts. You know, 'cause Plymouth State only had 2. So if you're the Eagles here, you got to keep making these stops. And, you know, if they happen to probably get a first down, that probably might be the ball game here. So
94 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Plymouth with a 21-20 advantage. They've scored 21 unanswered points. Going all the way back to 30 seconds to go in the second quarter after Husson jumped out to a 20-0 lead. And there's a few, and Potter, for Husson, there's a few key moments here that you could really mark to really changing the complexion of this game. The first one being that Visser fumble that ended up setting up that score that led to that scoring drive for Plymouth. And even going back here in this second quarter, Husson, with a 6-point lead, drove all the way down to their 3-yard line.
Right.
And Garnett coughed up the football at the goal line.
Yeah.
And here we are, and then Plymouth comes up with the stop, gets the ball back. Second down and 6 from the 43-yard line of Husson. Lynn under center again, takes a snap, hands it off to Sanchez, and Sanchez is going to get wrapped up in the backfield. And they're going to mark him down for a loss of 1, and Nat Clark spends his second time out.
Yeah, and, you know, for the Eagles there, a nice stop there to push them back a few yards. And, you know, now it's 3rd and 7 now here for Plymouth State, as they have 1 timeout left.
Plymouth State ran 6 seconds off, went from a minute 34 to a minute 28.
And say if the Eagles were able to, you know, force this next down, get that timeout, probably Plymouth State will kick it. And there's still, you know, a good, decent amount of time left for Husson to still be able to try to do something offensively.
So a big 3rd down coming up here. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7 from the 44. They have to get to about the 37-yard line of Husson. That is the line to gain. Plymouth has 2 timeouts remaining. Husson down to just 1. 3rd down, the biggest 3rd down of the season for this Husson defense coming up right here. Braden Lynn lines up under center. It's a 2-receiver set for the Panthers. He sends Donahue in motion out to the far side. Lynn takes a snap. He holds on to the football. He's going to keep it himself. He's trying to get to the goal line himself. And to the line again himself. And he's got it. He's going to be out of bounds at the 36-yard line on a massive draw play. And that might have just clinched the ball game right there for the Plymouth State Panthers.
Yeah, what a nice heads-up play there by Braden Lynn. Took it himself, brought it up the right side and got the first down. Like you mentioned, Ethan, that could possibly do it here for Plymouth State, as Husson only has one timeout left.
And they haven't spent it yet, as the clock stops in college football. They've spotted on a first down. So Plymouth State out in victory formation. Lynn. Takes a kneel down, and Coach Nat Clark will spend his final timeout. Husson may, if this maths out correctly, they may get the ball back with a couple of seconds left, but they're not. Even if they do, they're not going to have a lot of. They're not going to have much time to do anything with it.
No, and it's definitely tough with them too. Not having any timeouts, and if they don't happen to get out of bounds, the clock doesn't stop, and they just got to keep going. But it's definitely, a tough break here for Husson. They've had, a few of those mistakes that have came back to haunt them. A couple fumbles, they missed a field goal, and, there were some things I'm sure they, wanted to clean up. They got off to that great start, but Plymouth State just has responded right back, and that's just what good teams do. Plymouth State's a very talented team. They had a very good regular season, 8-2 going into this one, and it's more looking likely that they're going to run away with this thing.
So it'll be second down and 11. Minute 17 to play. Husson has no more timeouts to spend, so it'll be at least 2 more kneel downs here. Plymouth may run the majority of this time off the clock. Even if Husson does get the ball back, there won't be much time left to do anything with it. 21 unanswered points for the Panthers. The turnovers are the big story for on both sides here today. 8 turnovers combined, but for Husson, they're going to be a bigger footnote as Lynn lines up under center. Kneels this one down again. And I believe one more kneel down will do it.
Yep, looks like it will be the case here. And Plymouth State going to come away with an exciting 1-point victory here in shocking fashion here at the Winkin Sports Complex.
Plymouth State, all credit to them. We're very near dead to rights towards the end of that first half, down 20-0. And you mentioned the Eagles turnovers, but also the Eagles left 4 points on the board. You had Parody miss a chip shot field goal late in that third quarter, and he missed the PAT on the third score of the day. As that'll be it. That's going to do it. That's it. As the Plymouth State Panthers have come all the way back for 20 points down, and they are going to win the New England Bowl, the sixth edition of the New England Bowl. They come back to Husson's town. They come back to Husson's Field twice in the season and beat them twice in the season. It'll be a 21-20 victory for the Plymouth State Panthers. It is their first bowl victory since 2007. Their first postseason appearance since 2017. And they're going to finish the season 9-2 overall and go and come home and head back to Plymouth, New Hampshire with a New England Bowl win.
Yeah, what a great game this was, for both of these teams. Husson got off to the strong start, but Plymouth State just never went away, to be able to score that touchdown at the end of the first half and then got that momentum that they needed heading into halftime. And then they were able to get some big stops off of some fumbles. Husson missed some chances to, with a field goal and an extra point. And Plymouth State coming away with a 1-point victory. Obviously, if you're Husson here, it's definitely a disappointing end to your season. But, you still have to be pleased with how that second half of the season turned out for them. Starting off 1-4, to be able to turn it around and to finish with a 5-5 overall record and to get a home bowl game. It definitely is a disappointing end, but still lots to, keep your head up high if you're the Eagles here.
So Husson 0 for 3 now in bowl games all time in program history. Their first bowl game appearance since 2015. And they fall to 0-3 all time in bowl games as we will have the presentation of the New England Bowl trophy, which will be presented by Associate Commissioner of the Commonwealth Coast Conference down on the field. But Plymouth State, this has been it's been quite the run for the Panthers. They went 5-5 last year. Finished a lot of seasons above 500. Of course, took home the MASCAC back in 2017, and obviously 2018, 2019, not bad seasons for them either. As we stand by as the Panthers got their championship banner down there, but still waiting for the official presentation of the trophy. As Plymouth State, it'll be a fun bus ride back to Plymouth State as we will send it over to Joseph Swanson for the trophy presentation. So Plymouth State is the 2022 New England Bowl champions. 21-20, the final score over the Husson University Eagles here from the Wicked Sports Complex. And Potter, postseason football, it can bring a lot of good moments, and today was definitely not an exception to that.
Yeah, it definitely was just a great game between both of these sides. We kind of talked before the game how, last time these two teams played, it was just Plymouth State coming away with a 17-0 victory. But Husson just, really improved in the second half of the season, and we knew going into this one that this was going to be a really exciting game and an exciting finish, and it definitely was that. And congratulations to Plymouth State, to be able to come back and to win this game by 1 point. And they have a little bit of a long bus ride home, but it will be an exciting bus ride home for them.
So once again, the Panthers are 2022 New England Bowl champions. Finish off a 9-2 overall campaign. The Eagles will finish 5-6 overall on the year. A disappointing end of the season for Husson, as they got a chance to host a bowl game for the first time in program history, but falls short once again. That's just about going to wrap things up from the Wicked Sports Complex. We want to thank you all for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. The final score once again: Plymouth State 21, Husson 20. The Panthers are 2022 New England Bowl champions. For one final time, from Isaac Potter, I'm Ethan Snow. Thank you for tuning in to watch Husson Eagles football this season. This has been the 2022 New England Bowl game on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.